Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, we are back and at it again, and at the end of the day, what you have to realize is, it's not that you're old, you're just fat.
Oh, wow, sorry, there's a crash of thunder. It sounds like the apocalypse is coming, so I might die during this episode.
Yeah, I can hear it over the speakers,
Apparently
man.
God was mad at
to go to the basement?
I couldn't record the show from the basement, so I'm willing to die for tonight's show. I love you guys, and I love this show. And when you're not calling me a dickhead on the Star Wars video, I'm sure you appreciate the content, too. Up next is the last standing Samoan, Nick Udom.
The Last Jedi is going to suck.
He's jumping the gun.
All right, we're going right into that shit. All
yeah,
right,
but first we got to introduce our favorite. I don't even know what to call him anymore. We're just going to call him Mr. Lendenfield.
I got a quick story for you guys. I'm banging my wife last night, and I know I joke a lot about how quick I am to come, but I really have two modes. One where I either come really fast, or one where if she doesn't speed it up, she's going to take it in the ass, because that'll be the only thing that gets me off. But when she gets to that point, she realizes that she's going to be taking a dick in the pooper. She starts talking dirty to me, and I swear to God, last night she said, "Fill me with cum." Fill me with cum. So I obliged. I pulled out, blew it on her foot, and the damn thing still hasn't fallen off. Fill her with cum? Like, make her foot... Okay, now
I don't know what's worse, the fact that you call your wife Phil or that you call your pillow your wife. That part is...
my wife says, fill me with cum. Jeez. That's some highbrow humor you guys wouldn't get at.
Yeah, don't let me trip over that one.
All right, Gene Garofalo, calm the fuck down over there.
All right, so tonight is episode 68 of World Class Bullshitters, and it's a pretty big show. We're going to talk about the Star Wars trailer. We're going to talk about a lot of news, so get ready. But before we get into that, I'd like to give a very, very special shout-out to the listener of the week, the listener of the month, probably the listener of the year, Walter Goodman. Ooh. So... on Friday, The Last Jedi trailer came out, and I released a 20-minute diatribe about what I thought, and you'll hear that, more later tonight, and you can go back and watch that video then, too. But my point is, the fans of the show seem to like the video, but we got 10,000 views in a day, and most people were just, talking shit. And the thing is, they were talking out of their ass, like they weren't making any sense. So Walter kind of just went in head first and cut these people down at the legs. So Walter, I thank you for all your good work, all your funny words. I don't even say kind words, funny words, because I enjoyed that the video was being successful, but I enjoyed reading what you had to say about it more. So thank you. I really appreciate your contribution to the video. And if you're a fan of this podcast, go back, watch the video, and look for Walter's comments, because I guarantee you will laugh your fucking asses off.
Walter, you're a good man.
But second shitty joke of the night. Thank you, Dad Bod. All right, so now it's time for it's time for the news, because next week it's irrelevant. So I'll go first. Deadpool 2. Leslie Uggams is confirmed to return as Blind Al. So if you're like me, you liked Deadpool, and Blind Al is pretty cool. Are you guys happy with this information?
I am extremely happy about it.
See, no reason why not to be.
I hope.
Yeah, I assume Deadpool and her are still living together, and it's going to be that whole thing again.
I wonder how they're going to write his girlfriend out of the story, because at the end of the movie, you thought like he wasn't going to get her, but all that shit they went through only made him stronger as a couple, and then she accepted him even with his fucked up face. So it would be retarded if they broke up.
The most Deadpool thing to do would be they just broke up. Like it'll just say, "Oh well, we're not together anymore." And it'll be like, she didn't like my dick or something. That'd be it'd be that. I feel like that'd be the most Deadpool movie thing to do, is just no explanation. We're done, and there's a second one now.
I don't know. I think the more Deadpool thing would be the very opening of the scene. There's a bedroom. There's bang, and you hear Ryan Reynolds' voice. Door opens. It's his girlfriend. Lights come on. Covers come off, and it's the old blind woman.
I thought you were going to say he was banging Hugh Jackman. Well, I think Deadpool 2 comes out next year, so we'll have to take bets on that. How do they break up?
We'll make squares.
Okay. I'm down. Speaking of bets, let's talk about some bids. So right now, there is a huge bidding war in Hollywood over the distribution rights to James Bond number 25. Now, me personally, I'm the biggest Bond fan anyone has ever met. I fucking love those movies. I'm anxious for this Bond movie because I want it to be Daniel Craig's last. But here's the actual news. Sorry, I jumped the gun. I'm like Nick. So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Sony is in the lead with their bid because they're the ones that already distribute the film, which is fine. Only thing I would like is if they would cut out some of the fucking product placement, because James Bond has always had, big high-end gadgets and products in the films, but with the Daniel Craig ones, it's like everyone's using a Sony computer and a Sony phone, and there's Sony TVs, and there's Blu-ray and Casino Royale. It just felt kind of forced.
Good luck with it.
Well, I'm just saying, I own the computer that's in Casino Royale, and it felt kind of weird, watching M on my computer, so whatever. But
all right, easy. Fucking curb the boner there, buddy. Goddamn.
It wasn't a boner, it was anger. I was like, never mind.
It was an angry boner. It was an angry boner is what it was, all right?
I have never been aroused at the sight of Judi Dench, ever. And I've seen pictures of her when she was young. Still looked like a man.
Damn.
But some of the other studios that are in talks to get the James Bond distribution rights are Warner Brothers, Fox, Universal, and I guess this place called Annapurna. I've never heard of them. This says they're a prestige indie developer. So, cool. This is Daniel Craig's last Bond movie. I've heard they've offered him $125 million, so I hope he just gets that shit made and gets the fuck out. Now, the only reason I wanted to bring this point up on the show is there's a list of directors. So Sam Mendes has directed the last two. Also, they're looking at Catherine Bigelow, which, no. Danny Boyle, Christopher Nolan, yes. David Fincher, yes. Denis Villeneuve, no. And Suzanne Bier. I was going to put it like this, and I don't care who it offends. A woman shouldn't direct a Bond movie. It's like a guy not directed Wonder Woman, whatever. Bond's, the male fantasy. I don't think a woman's eye is going to bring anything to the franchise. It'll just take away from it. So that's my piece on the Bond thing. What do you guys think?
Is she related to Deuce?
Yes, she is. She was actually related to Jim Cameron because they were married. So good for her, I guess.
God.
But
I liked the Hurt Locker. And you know how I am, and even I'm just like,
Yeah, he hates the army.
Oh, good thing you joined. But no, man. I mean, I'd be okay with Chris Nolan. I don't want him to get too crazy with it. But David Fincher, I'm not the crazy about. But
here's the thing: you've already seen the Christopher Nolan James Bond movie. It was called Skyfall. All right, Skyfall. For as much as I love it, it's essentially ripped off The Dark Knight. You could watch those movies side by side and pick plot points from The Dark Knight and find them in Skyfall. So I think we've seen the Christopher Nolan 007 flick.
I wouldn't argue that. I just don't want 007 to have a random fucking voice that we're all just like, are we hearing this? And he's just like, it's part of the character, guys. It's part of the character. That's my word.
Where are the terrorists?
He's looking for Murph the whole movie.
Where's M? I want to hear that.
What I'm hoping they do is they pick Sam Mendes, and they can do a Sam Mendes or Mendes, however you pronounce his last name, trilogy. Because he did Skyfall and Spectre, and let him close it out, because I love Spectre, and that movie ends on the note where it's like, you got to have one more with Daniel Craig to kill off the girl and get him to the next point of his character. So, let's just end it with Sam Mendes, and let's just get a new Bond. I want a new Bond that's excited to play Bond, and I want these movies to come out every other year like they used to. Because waiting 5 years between James Bond movies sucks.
Well, let Sony take over, and Leslie Jones can be the new Bond.
I will kill myself if that happens.
Oh, no.
You just want to see some other dude's dick in her ass again. That's the reason you want Leslie Jones.
I forgot I saw a dick in her ass, and now it all came flooding back. Fuck you.
Listen, I still give her a prop. She took it, and I was like, you know what, Leslie Jones? You're the Dustin of Hollywood right now. You could really take a good dick.
That's not saying a lot, though.
I don't know if that's a high compliment or a hate crime.
Yeah, take what you can get, and at her point, it has to get a dick in her ass.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jeff. I think we don't need Christopher Nolan to be the director, because his stuff is quite dark and very slow, and we don't need that. We need action. We need it to be the pacing to be good. We need it to be a true James Bond movie. And also having a woman on it, would completely ruin it, because there would be an agenda there immediately.
Because you got Barbara Broccoli, who is the producer of the film. Now, it's not like Barbara Broccoli, was producing all these indie films and came up and started, making her, name in Hollywood and took over Bond. No, her dad was the one that got the book rights back in the 60s. He might have got it prior to whatever. It might have been the 50s when they got the movie came out.
Chef.
But the movie came out in 1962. My point is, her dad and this Canadian guy, Harry Saltzman, produced the Bond films. Cubby Broccoli was working on them up through GoldenEye. Then he died, and then she took over. And there's definitely a different slant to Bond since, Cubby Broccoli died. It would be nice if she just kind of disappeared and didn't work on the next one, keep that Michael G. Wilson guy, and make this Bond movie like the biggest one ever, and then reboot it again. I mean, because I hate to get into this, but like Daniel Craig's Bonds, you can't really continue his whole story arc's over. They've ruined him for like a franchise perspective.
But plus, he doesn't want to do it anymore. That's my big thing. Is obviously, oh fuck, I agree with Jeff. That's fucking crazy. But I was cool. I would have been okay if Spectre was the last one, because especially when it comes out and he's like, oh, well, I'd rather slit my fucking wrists. And I mean, you can kind of tell when he does interviews, he's just so tired of Bond. I would not have been upset if he didn't come back. Obviously, they offered him fucking, buy your own island fucking money, and I don't blame him for coming back for that. But I think this last one is, like you said, man, it's the perfect end chapter. Keep Sam Mendes, finish it up with Daniel Craig. He rides off into the sunset with his wife and a few other African chicks, and then they reboot the fucking franchise.
I want his wife to die, like in the books and in the other movies.
She's gonna die. Yeah, I mean, they all those references to the old movies. The next one, the wife is. I would bet my wife that she's dead in the next one. That's the movie, and then a new Bond comes out.
They better not try to do something weird and kill off James Bond. That'll be fucking retarded.
No, I honestly think they'll just do the kind of like it's just a new Bond, and I don't think they won't like reboot it in the sense that it's a whole new origin story. It'll just be Daniel Craig, wife's killed, he gets his revenge, whatever, and then the next Bond 26 is just going to be a new face, a new story. He's James Bond. We're all moving on.
They need to take the GoldenEye approach, where
Agreed.
it was a with the GoldenEye approach, it was a continuation of the old Bonds, but in many ways, it was all new. We don't even need... The thing is, Bond, you never needed to know his origin. It was cool to, like, watch a movie and in a passing line of dialogue learn about the character. You didn't need a fucking, hour-long subplot of Skyfall where he goes back to his childhood home, and then an hour-long subplot in Spectre where you meet his stepbrother and all this other dumb shit. Bond is cool when he's a loner and you don't know much about him. A lot like Han Solo up until next year, where they fuck that up too. The only character that works for is Indiana Jones, because Last Crusade did that perfectly, where you got to see him as a kid and how he was raised, and then his dad comes in. Like, that is the only
Are we going to pretend like there wasn't a movie where he reconnected with the love of his life who happened to have a kid, and then he became the guy that he passed his torch or hat to? Or are we just
that sounds like really bad fan fiction, and I don't think you should suggest
it. Became a movie, buddy.
What?
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. You shut your mouth, Dion. No, it didn't.
You need to watch yourself, okay? Look, I'm going to leave the Bond shit alone. The closer we get to Bond 25, now that our channel's big enough, I'm going to talk about James Bond. Dion will be there. Nick will be there. We all love our James Bond movies. But my final piece of news before we move over to the actual news desk, the Last Jedi director, Rian Johnson, has made a big change, or a little change, or a stupid change if you ask me. So he is intentionally changing Kylo Ren's scar because he didn't like the way it looked in The Force Awakens. Now, I know this is a dumb thing to comment on, but continuity is important.
Yep.
And you kind of gotta respect what came before you. You may not have to like it. Like, I think there's a lot of people starting to come out against the last one, The Force Awakens, because I think Mark Hamill said something in the news this week.
No, he didn't say something. He totally was just like, yeah, J.J. Abrams dropped the ball.
Okay,
he flat out, and he had a great point to where he was saying, it should have been, hey, remember how Leia can communicate with Luke? I go save her, and he's like, we get there right when Han dies. He goes, that was a huge missed opportunity. There's Chewie there, but it's two people who've known him, and he's like, two people who've known him for 20 minutes. They missed the whole opportunity there, and I was like, damn, Luke, all right there, Marky Mark.
I think he maybe he listens to the World Class Bullshitters channel, because I feel like he and I are on the same, wavelength. But no, it would have been nice if they didn't even... If he could have just saved Han at the last minute, that would have been cool. That would have had like a oh my god moment, and then, he could have fought Kylo Ren, Rey could have attended to injured Han and Chewbacca and all that shit, and they could have had a duel. Then the fucking thing could have split. Kylo Ren could have run away. Luke could have been stuck there. Then he could have been like, all right, now I'm going to train you to take down Kylo Ren, and then the movie could have ended. That would have been, I think, a much better ending.
You don't like the fact that Rey is she feeds into the Force and is able to beat someone who's been training a lot longer than she has?
Look. Okay, we are fucking frothing at the mouth to talk about Star Wars. Just let us get through the news, and I promise you, this episode is going to be bitch fest after bitch fest. But I do have a positive about the new movie, so I'll tell you that when we get to it. All right, over to the
really
news
quick,
desk.
Mark Hamill is also the same guy, though, who said that Luke could possibly be gay. Don't forget that.
So
take his opinions with a grain of salt.
When I see,
hold on. What does sexual orientation have to do with anything about the character at all?
No, he's making a joke because about what was that, a year ago we made that video?
Yeah.
We made a video a year ago called "Is Luke Skywalker Gay?" where we were like, "Who the fuck would come out to Mark Hamill?" That was the thing you said, which made me laugh. That stuck with me the whole time. Like, who comes out to Mark Hamill? That person apparently. Anyway, on to the news desk.
Okay, so really quick, I want to give a shout out to Justice Divine Allah because I misspoke. It's not even a misspoke. I take that back. I was wrong about some information. I thought all these years that Disney owned MTV. He corrected me in the comments, so I want to say thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm very grateful for that new piece of knowledge. So, Spider-Man has been confirmed for not only Avengers 3, but Avengers 4 and a sequel to Homecoming, all within the MCU universe. What do you guys think?
I think that Sony would have been fucking stupid to not put him in these movies. I think they were fine. I mean, I wouldn't say finally. I'm sure after those movies they'll find a way to fuck it up. But that's why I didn't get too worried last week when we were talking about how they were gonna not have Spider-Man be a part of it. I was like, they're not fucking retarded.
Yeah, but you gotta. Okay, so that only takes us to 2019, sorry.
2019 is when the sequel to Homecoming is scheduled for release.
And that's when the sequel to Avengers. So we're going to have 2 years of Tom Holland as Spider-Man in the MCU, and then what? I think there's... I'm with you, Dion. I think they're going to fuck it up.
So I'm saying, I mean, I think, like I said, after Infinity Wars and in Homecoming, they'll make a shit ton of money. They'll keep them in there, and then, does Sony have the ability to fuck it up? We've seen what Sony can fucking do, but I just there's a sliver of my brain that's like, hey, they'll see all that money and they'll realize, don't fucking stop the process. Just leave them take part of the profits, share Spider-Man for right now, movie wise, and get what you can fucking get.
It's their ego, though, man. The ego of Amy Pascal and Tom Rothman and Avi Arad is greater than any dollar amount because they need to feel validated by doing things their way. And the things their way suck dick. All right? I watched Spider-Man 1 last night. When you had Sam Raimi and somebody that actually liked Spider-Man and not some money-hungry foreign dude that just bought the rights to action figures and now weaseled his way into making the movies. Like, when you have somebody that cares, you have quality. When you have people that see dollar signs, you have shit, like the Andrew Garfield movies. And those people do not have the ability to produce quality, and we've seen it. So they're going to make the Aunt May movie. They're going to make the all. They're so hard on this whole all-female Spider-Man character movie. Which, who gives a shit? Like, the best female characters in Spider-Man don't have superpowers. Is Mary Jane going to be a cop? No, it's going to be some dumb shit that they fucking make. I don't care.
Well, I think the difference is those fucking emails, man. That showed the dissent in Sony. And at least, again, they may get to the point where they think that we all forgot about that. But the first thing that comes in everybody's mind was mutiny. Like, Andrew Garfield didn't like where it was going. Motherfucking, you have emails flying back and forth of how no one thought the movie was a good movie. Like, if that hadn't happened. Sure, I think things would definitely turn back to shit. But everyone knows Sony is a fucking blind dude in the dark at this point.
I'll make you $1 bet that after the Homecoming sequel, there's either going to be a Spider-Man 3, we'll call it 3, the trilogy, and it's going to be like Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six or something stupid crazy where they shovel in too many characters, and it's a garbage movie, and we're back to square one with Spider-Man. It'd be nice if Disney goes, we're just going to buy Sony Pictures outright, and then fire everybody. And then, all of a sudden, Spider-Man's like permanently part of the MCU. And
all I'm saying, man, is you brought up the Sony bidding for James Bond. I think there's a reason for that. I think that's a desperate...
Well, Dion, they already have James Bond. They're just trying to keep
that happening by 2019, man.
Well, speaking of Spider-Man real quick, just to let the listeners know, the closer we get to Spider-Man Homecoming, if the other guys are willing, I know I'm going to, we're going to do 3 commentaries of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. So a lot of our listeners will contact me and tell me how much they love those movies and how much they want to hear me talk about them. So this summer, coming to a podcast near you, we will release 3 drunk, or I'll be sober. I'll drink a little bit. We'll have 3 commentaries for the Spider-Man movies, and you guys can go nuts on those.
Ooh,
Sounds good, man.
All right, so what's next?
It's been rumored for a while, but it seems pretty much confirmed at this point. Joss Whedon will be directing Batgirl. Thoughts?
ugh! Well, I can't wait for fucking Tim Drake or someone to fucking randomly die, and then someone randomly goes, "I tried to kill myself," and then no one really responds to that, and then of course it'll be just like the bullshitters being like, "We fucking told you. We told you Joss Whedon has to be Joss Whedon." And then we'll fucking make a fucking $1 billion out of revenue because some assholes on the internet told the world already.
I'm just not going to see this fucking movie. I hate Batgirl. I think she's a stupid character. Unless she's Oracle, I don't give a shit. Which, you can't make a movie about a paraplegic superhero. Sorry.
Well, they made a TV show about it.
That was Birds of Prey, and it wasn't just her, though.
Well, I mean, they made a show called Mantis, and that guy was paraplegic.
Mantis is what you came up with?
Mantis. Mantis. Yeah, that's what I came up with.
think Ironside was in a wheelchair, too.
Yeah, and it lasted like 5 episodes.
No, Ironside was on for years, dude.
I'm talking about the new one. The old one, that was in the 70s. The new one was like literally on for like 4 episodes.
With Ving Rhames? Yeah, okay. Well,
no, it wasn't Ving Rhames. It was the other black dude.
Sorry, Ving Rhames was in Kojak, the remake.
Yes, it was Blair Walsh. Fucking
Is he a Goonie?
Blair Underwood is some bullshit.
Blair
that
Underwood?
Was the black dude. Whatever, you know who I'm talking about.
I do. I own a pair of his blue jeans. Not his personally, just his brand of blue jeans. They were good.
No, they were his personal ones. You snuck into his house and got them while he was
Here's
sleeping.
the thing. If I'm going to steal someone's pants, I have to be able to wear them. Not many people wear the same size pants as me, so it would be a fucking wasted effort of my time and life force to go steal.
I don't know, dude. Maybe you like to have them in your house or smell them occasionally. What do I know?
I'm weird. I'm not that weird. Like, other people's clothing... Curtis will attest to this. I had a girlfriend in college leave her clothes in my dorm after we broke up. He flushed them down the fucking toilet.
God.
The good old days. And that's before we took a bunch of yearbooks that we were working on and threw them in the river.
Damn.
It was. Oh,
Damn.
man. I got paid to destroy MSU property.
I was managing editor at this publication and got Jeff and Topher.
You guys, but hold on. You guys didn't make rolling papers out of them and sell them?
No, we weren't entrepreneurial enough to think of that. Even if
We just thought it would be way more fun to drive to the river and then throw them all in.
which is what we did, and it was awesome. I remember fucking just like a fucking frisbee. And they didn't even sink. They kind of floated for a little bit.
So up next we have, it is been leaked in a report that Nintendo will indeed be producing the classic SNES, and it will be available by Christmas.
Of course it does.
Well, they need to make sure that you can actually find this fucking thing this year, because
if it's for Christmas, they're gonna make a lot more. They're gonna make a lot more.
Well, the retro NES obviously sold well, but like Phil has one. He just got in line early, and then he never saw another one in stores.
Yeah, they kept saying like, "Oh, it might come back," but it never did.
This one interests me, though, if they do a couple things. First off, the game selection needs to be top-notch. Now, the Retro NES had good games, but I grew up with Super Nintendo, and there are just certain games that I'm going to need to buy this. So, like, I need a Super Mario World. I need Mega Man X. What else did I play on Super Nintendo? I mean, some of the licensed games were fun.
Did you ever play the Super Mario Legend of the Seven Stars?
Oh, our Mario RPG, yes.
Yeah, that was one of the best fucking games I ever played.
I bet you that's on there.
You think so? That thing is so fucking expensive. If you go into like a comic book shop or look online for a copy, even a used one is at least $70.
Damn. But
it's crazy how Nintendo retains their value.
Any idea what games are on there now?
No idea. This report just came out, I think, yesterday, and It was the first of its kind, and then of course all the other news sites jumped onto it, all coming from the same report, and didn't have any more information than Christmas time.
They need to up their. Have any of you played the Retro NES or no?
No, nobody I know was fucking Phil enough to go fucking get one.
Well, the problem is the cord is 3 feet long. Okay, I went over to Phil's house the day he bought that thing. He had his couch pushed all the way up to his TV, and he just sat hunched over this little controller and this little TV stand to play it. It was the most uncomfortable experience I've ever had. So they need to extend the wire length, and they gotta have good games on it. That's my big selling point. If it's got 30 excellent games, I'm fucking there. If it's bullshit that no one cares about,
what's a deal breaker for you? What one game, if it was on there, you would buy even if the other 29 sucked?
Mega Man X.
Okay, Nick.
But here's my thing. You can make one of these. You can make it with a Raspberry Pi, and you have all the games you ever want, more than 30. And you can put them on there and take them off as much as you want. Why pay? What was the retro one?
$69 or $59, something like that.
For a Raspberry Pi with a case, it's like $40, and to program it is really fucking simple. They have like dead simple instructions on how to do this. Plus, you can get wireless remotes and wireless controllers for it and everything. Why you want to spend money on this piece of shit is beyond me. Where it's limited to 30 games. It's limited to 30 games, and it's not that good. Plus, with the retro Pi or whatever, you can put all the games you want on there as that you could play.
But you got to think about the common consumer. There are people that don't want to have to program themselves. They want it ready to go. They want that logo, that official Nintendo logo on there. They want the look, the nostalgia plays into it. It's a genius product because people that wouldn't waste time playing emulators or building a Raspberry Pi, they go, wow, everyone's talking about it. I grew up with this, and it's like I can plug it in and on my big, great HD TV, and here I go, relive my childhood.
But then again, it's 30. It's only 30 games. Not everybody's going to have their childhood game on there that they want. They might not even have it. They may have one. The games they pick might not be the best ones. Who knows?
I'll tell you this: if they do an N64 one, I will. See, the thing is, I would pre-order a Super Nintendo one if they took pre-orders, but they won't. So. And Nick, another thing, you didn't build me a Retro Pi, so that's why I don't have one. If you would hook me up, I would never buy.
Hey! I just learned that I can put Cody on Raspberry Pi. Okay.
Is that the thing we were doing to watch?
Yes.
Oh my God! Yes. I need this.
Yes. So I'm going to try it with mine, and once I know the process and know how to do it properly, everybody's getting one for Christmas.
Oh God! I can't wait for the holidays now.
Not only that, what you could do is do a step-by-step video for the channel.
Oh yeah.
I could totally do that.
You can kind of spiral off and be like the tech guy, because you know all that kind of garbage.
Oh my God, I could.
I'll give you the passwords.
Now, Jeff, what is one game that if it wasn't on it, you wouldn't buy it?
Well, okay, I know I'm playing it kind of safe because let me explain like this. The games I've always been into, no matter what console I'm playing on, I like a lot of licensed games. I always had the Star Wars games. The Aladdin was a great game. Spider-Man, Batman, all those are the games I played as a kid. I wasn't into Metroid. I don't give a fuck about Samus. I know that's kind of like, oh, how do you not like that? I just don't. That wasn't my cup of tea. I really don't care about Castlevania. But the thing is, as long as like Super Mario World's on there, which it will be, it has to be, and Mega Man X, and Mega Man 1 and 2, or 2 and 3 were on the Retro NES, so I'm not too worried about that. But they gotta have at least like a couple games that I'm gonna like already. I don't want to go in with if it's fucking Castlevania and Metroid and other shit that I've never played. And F-Zero, fuck F-Zero. Like that kind of shit doesn't interest me. The first party Nintendo games aren't my favorite. So that's, I guess, a roundabout way of answering your question. I need at least a Mario and that. Oh, Zelda will be on there too, but I hate that Zelda game.
Which one was it?
Link to the Past.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate. How do you hate Link to the Past? You're not a real gamer. Blah blah blah. Look at motherfucker. 3D Zelda's better than 2D Zelda, and I'll fight you any day of the week on that.
Well, speaking of which, fans, make sure that you're going along at home and letting us know what game you need to see on the upcoming SNES, and what game, if it wasn't on there, you wouldn't buy it.
And another question for younger listeners like Oggs and people that didn't have Super Nintendos growing up: does this interest you? Do retro games look cool to you? I mean, I know a lot of older people are like, oh, it's retro, it's cool, but when you sit down and you can beat a game in 15 minutes, you realize what a fucking waste. You know?
Well, I got 2 6-year-olds right now because we hit them so close together. But I tried getting them into an old Nintendo and an old SNES that I picked up from a pawn shop, and they didn't care. They were so used to playing fucking Battlefront, HD TV, PS4. They don't give a shit about games that look like that or play like that. So that's my bet is no, they don't care because nostalgia is the pure driving factor here.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going people who are in their like 30s and 40s who have money, who have a little bit of disposable income, who are willing to put down the money for this. So that's what they're going after. They're not going after the 18 to 24 group. They're not doing that.
Well, the reason I ask that question is when I go to like a Nintendo release or like, okay, one day I honestly was just going to look for action figures at my local Toys R Us just for the hell of it after the gym, and there was a line of people at the fucking door. They're like, "We're here for Amiibo." They were all like younger than me. I just, I'm curious about, because the Nintendo thing seems to skew from every age. But I guess now, Curtis, you didn't really grow up playing a lot of Nintendo, did you? Or were you a PlayStation kid or what?
No, I was absolutely Nintendo. I wasn't GameCube because by that point I got a PS1. I eventually bought a GameCube later, but I did the PS1. 2 weeks later, guilted my mom into upgrading that to a PS2 because my friend had one. Then went to Xbox for a while, and now I'm back to PlayStation.
I stuck it with Nintendo, or stuck through with Nintendo. Let's see, NES, Super NES, N64, GameCube. But I also had the PlayStation, the Xbox. Bought a Wii, hated it. Skipped the Wii U. Got a Switch. I haven't turned it on in a month. Probably will never play it again.
Dude, you should turn around and sell that shit. People are paying ridiculous prices.
No. Wait till after Halloween to sell that shit.
After Halloween?
Yeah, because that's when Christmas shopping starts.
Yeah, but by then the supply will be up enough that people aren't willing to pay that kind of cash.
Fine, then sell it in September then, or during the summer or some shit.
All the parents are punishing their fucking kids.
If I could sell it for like $500, I'd sell it in a heartbeat. I beat Zelda, and the controller legitimately damaged my hands. If I was a litigious type of man, I would sue Nintendo. Their controller seriously damaged my hands for weeks. I was having like, it's so tiny, and I was like squeezing it so hard to use it. The buttons are fucking, seriously, the tip of my finger is bigger than all 4 buttons on that controller. And my hands, like, not atrophied, but they got, used to that, and then it was hard for me to function. I haven't touched the controller in a month. My hands are back to normal. Everything's great, but fuck you, Nintendo. Fucking Japanese people with your tiny ass hands.
You should sue them for what you missed out on your inability to draw for that month. They cut into your career, Jeff.
They really did, because if you look at all the shit, the work I've accomplished in that time frame of having a Switch, it was like barely anything. It was crippling. It was crippling pain. Fuck you, Link. Twilight bitch. Dion, are you going to get one of these for Hillary?
The Switch, probably. I mean, especially
if Super NES.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was pooping. I don't know, man. I mean, Hillary is the, I guess, the classic gamer of the two of us. I was definitely a PlayStation 1 kid. Probably. I mean, it depends. I mean, she's not into going back and playing old games anymore. So I think, even if we did, we wouldn't get a lot of use out of it. So I guess probably not really, because like Dustin said, man, we're mainly into current generation games.
I would just like to see how the stuff looks in not Super HD, but in HD. Because we played it on Phil's 4K TV, and the NES looked great. The Super NES obviously will look doubly great. It'd be funny if they filled it with really shitty games like Incredible Crash Dummies and James Bond Jr. and stuff like that. I would laugh my ass off.
Oh god, I doubt they would do that. They would do it with obviously popular games just so they can sell more of them. That's what they would do. But we'll see what the list is.
Well, look at when they get to the N64 next year. That's the one that I'm most excited for. If they're going to properly upscale the games, how the controller's going to work. If they put GoldenEye on it, I'll buy 2.
Okay, no. Here's their chance with the N64 though. If they do that, they better make it internet. They have to make it internet ready. They have to put GoldenEye on it, and they have to make it to where everybody can play online. If they did that, they would.
Oh my god!
They would fucking kill.
God damn you got me excited for something that's not going to happen.
Making money.
That's true, they do. That's one thing. They're really fucking retarded, too. So I doubt they would do that, even though this is an amazing billion-dollar idea. They're not going to fucking do it.
They just... are we really surprised they're not doing that? I mean, at this point, really? Really? Like that's why I'm not super bound in shape to get it for Hill. I'm not, crazy about it. Could they put it online? Yeah, they could put it online. Will they?
No.
They hate money, man. They just like fucking
No. And I mean, even if they do come out with the N64, I will be kind of excited, but I will want to see the list of games first.
If they put WWF No Mercy on there, I'd shit my pants. Leave it to Nintendo to release something with Chris Benoit on it. That would be amazing.
Jack Keys don't give a fuck.
In our country, you kill wife if she dishonor you.
No, but if they put GoldenEye, Ocarina of Time, and Smash Brothers and No Mercy and Mario Kart on there, those 5 games, I'm sure 4 of the 5 will be on that thing.
No,
those 5 games will be a guaranteed purchase for me.
Well, if they put any multiplayer game on there, they have to put more than 2 fucking controller ports. They have to put 4 on there. Okay.
Yeah, they do.
You
They have to make the controllers. Look at Nintendo. Stop with your fucking fake scarcity shit. All right. We know there's warehouses full of Switches. Just fucking put them out there.
Yeah, I mean,
people get tired of it.
You're not selling 100. What is it? 11 billion of them? Is that what Phil said?
Yeah, 11 billion Nintendo Switches sold in the first day alone.
Yeah. You're not selling that many. You can go ahead and put them in stores, gas stations, whatever. They will eventually get sold or be used as paperweights, so it's fine.
I bought a Switch on my way back from Florida. In a fucking Citgo. No, I did see something interesting on the Nintendo thing though. Apparently, more copies of Zelda for the Switch have sold than the Switch itself. It has 105% attach rate.
Wait, how? I don't understand that. How is that even possible?
I gotta find the article, but I read that. It says.
Oh, I trust you. You're not Phil, so it's fine. But it's just you're more copies of the game sold than the console. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Can you play the game on like the Wii? I mean, a lower console like the Wii U or whatever.
It was already released on the
companies
Wii
have done
U.
that. They've done that for years. They've done it since the fucking 80s, where a lot of copies get made. More copies get made than people who own the fucking systems.
But more copies sold. Like Pac-Man, they made like 8 million copies, but there weren't 8 million Ataris. But they just sold. I don't know how they sold more Zeldas than they sold consoles. They said 105% attach rate. I guess that's what you get when you release one game on your fucking console. Seriously, there are 5 games available for the Switch in your stores. Only one is worth your fucking time. God. And Phil has a Switch now. He's probably playing it as we speak. He's not doing anything.
No. That's entirely why he's on the podcast. He's masturbating on his Switch.
Oh God!
Like onto the Switch itself?
Yeah. Like just like all over it.
Like a homemade screen protector. Let that shit solidify.
And then he licks it up in the morning.
Oh God!
Slaps it up like a cat.
Oh God!
And he fucks a USB port. I heard there's a rumor they're going to make
that's too big for him.
Oh, I heard a rumor that they're going to make a Switch Mini.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, apparently this is doing so well. They're going to make a mini version. So
imagine your hands on that controller.
So it's going to be basically an iPhone. Then that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the Switch as it is can fit in your pocket. Have you guys ever actually seen one in person?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, have you seen my phone before? The fucking Note 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
My phone is close to this. My phone is close to the size of the Switch.
Oh jeez.
Damn.
Yeah, but my phone's way better. You know.
Well, obviously.
Do more. Anyway, what do we got next for news? I feel like we could bitch about Nintendo all night.
No, that's fine. I got a couple more video game ones, and we'll bounce around for a minute. There's a video game coming out that they just debuted footage for called Reservoir Dogs: Bloody Days. And it's
Really?
like a prequel to the Reservoir Dogs movie.
Oh fuck that!
Yeah, you take the characters, Mr. Pink, Mr. Blonde, blah blah blah, all of them through a series of heists throughout the game. I think Tarantino's kind of a faggot, and I don't like him. Do you guys like his shit?
I like his shit.
I like
really.
I like Pulp Fiction. I like parts of Reservoir Dogs. I think he loves the N-word and he likes to say it. And
Okay, I gotta stop really quick. Do you remember what Louis C.K. said about the N-word?
I do.
About how you put that shit in people's heads?
I do.
By saying it. So just go ahead and say it. Right here, live.
trust me, I don't like you that much to say it. But what I'm saying is, for him specifically, he knows that, like, he's like, yeah, I'll put it in the movie. I get Samuel Jackson to say it. Yeah, man. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't hate you for it, Quentin, but I see what the fuck you're doing. And it's like, okay, I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing here.
You know how you feel about Zack Snyder when you want to beat him up to the white meat shows?
Yes.
I would love to smack Quentin Tarantino across the face. Now, let me preface this with, or not preface it, but let me just say this. I'm not offended by anything in his movies. I think his movies are pretty shitty for the most part. Honestly, one of the worst theater-going experiences of my life was Inglourious Basterds. I fucking hate that movie. And much like V for Vendetta, most people that I meet that like Inglourious Basterds, just, I don't like those people. So, fuck you, Quentin Tarantino. But I hate all the shit he does. He's like, I'm such a big fan of cinema. Like, okay, Pulp Fiction's awesome. Django Unchained was awesome. That's about it. Jackie Brown is good. Reservoir Dogs is good. And then all of his other movies suck. I fucking hated... Hateful Eight was just okay. It was too long. It's like he sucked himself off for, 4 hours on the screen.
Which one?
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. No, that's his movies. His movies have gotten slower over the years. It's really weird. As he's gotten older, his movies have gotten slower. It's kind of odd. I mean, I enjoy the shit out of them. I really do, because all the characters seem to be really fleshed out in all the stuff he does. I just really enjoy his stuff. I really do.
I just think he's not as relevant as he used to be.
No, he's no. God, no. Because of all these studios doing all these universes and all these big movies are always coming out. His stuff gets covered up because of all these big movies that are always coming out.
No, that's not doesn't get covered up. It gets covered up because, one, as much as I love Inglourious Basterds, but there's a reason he don't do sequels anymore, and that's Kill Bill 2. He can't do sequels. Then there comes to the part where it's like, okay, let me close the movie out. He's not very good at doing that. It's he is as much as I like parts of what he does, he always does something to remind you. That's why you're not my favorite. Okay, now we're back to where we're at. That's why I think a lot of you sucks. He's in the Joss Whedon school of movie makers. Like, he'll do something good, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's why I think you're a punk bitch for a little bit. Like, you're that friend that everyone's like, he's cool, but we all kind of want to beat him up.
Who do you think has a shittier fan base, Joss Whedon or Quentin Tarantino?
Oh, Joss Whedon for
sure.
Joss Whedon. Because
those people haven't had sex yet.
As bad as Quentin Tarantino fans are, they can admit certain things. Joss Whedon fans are just like, oh my god, fucking Firefly should have been a fucking 10-season show. It was fucking great. Fox fucking killed it. Serenity was gotcha. Like, they will see something bad and swear up and down that it's good. Some Quentin Tarantino fans at least can admit, like, yeah, Kill Bill 2 wasn't that great.
I don't like Kill Bill 1. I hated Kill Bill 1 so much after I bought it that I traded it in for a copy of Halo 1 used.
Oh, dude,
This was in the year 2007, though. Like, after Halo 1 was, not even popular anymore.
There's no better description of a fall between a movie and a sequel than the first Kill Bill and the second one. Because I love the first Kill Bill. The second one is just so goddamn... like, you can tell how bad it is when everyone's like, Michael Madsen was the best part of this movie, and everyone's just like, can we just get back to Michael Madsen? Oh, wait, he's dead. Fuck. Like, that, like, the... it's all Kill Bill by
and I mean, part two, half of it was the fucking origin story, how she became the Black Mamba, and then that was boring. It's like, you don't need this. Show snippets. You don't need full scenes. Show snippets. It's okay. We'll get the idea still.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you remember when they wanted Tarantino to direct a Bond movie?
Oh, God.
Oh, man, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean...
Dude, Pierce Brosnan wanted that back for Casino Royale. Pierce Brosnan's idea for Casino Royale was to do a grounded version directed by Tarantino.
No, because it would be 90. It would be 2 hours of the N-word.
No. One thing about Tarantino is often his own little world making movies. When you got producers breathing down your neck for a PG-13 rating, you can't have nudity, you can't have this, you can't have that.
There's no way he'd conform to that. First of all, he would have said no. Like in the first meeting, he'd have been like, "No, I'm out."
Well, plus, like, the other thing too is, like, for their best characters, he likes to like shit all over the best characters in his movies. Like he shits all over Robert De Niro and Jackie Brown, where he's with this fucking horrible fucking woman. Then you have Michael Madsen, who's just getting yelled at by this fucking greasy little fucking Italian dude in a fucking strip club. Like you're just like, why are you beating down the best characters in your fucking movie? Jules Winfield literally gets shat on by Quentin Tarantino himself. Like if he had a Bond movie, he'd have like randomly trying to emasculate him for no fucking reason.
You mean like Casino Royale already did? You mean like Casino Royale already did?
True.
Like, I'm glad she's fucking dead. Like, I know it sounds mean to want an old lady to die, but when she got stabbed, I clapped. Fuck you, Judi Dench.
You mean
Fuck
Skyfall?
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys.
He got stabbed in Skyfall, not Casino Royale.
I didn't say that. I said when she emasculated him in Casino Royale.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying... Okay, gotcha.
Oh, no. She should have got stabbed in real life after Die Another Day.
Touche.
Retired. Anyway, go ahead.
Would you rather have Tarantino or Lars von Trier direct a James Bond movie?
Tarantino.
Oh, God.
I don't want to see James Bond's penis. That's the deal breaker for me. If I see an insertion shot of Bond, I'm done.
Wait, you mean like him inserting, or inserting into him?
Anything. If I see James Bond's ass or junk in a movie, I'm done. I'll walk out of the theater. I'll just be like, I'm not watching this ever again. There are certain things I don't like. I don't want to like it's cool when he like kisses the girl and they lay down and the music plays and you know it was getting on. You're getting ready to fuck. I don't want to see like we've all banged before. It's not like it is in a fucking movie. It's just like whatever. It's not as cool as it looks in the movie. It feels better, but it's not staged. It's weird. It's awkward at times. That would suck in a movie. That would just ruin the movie. Plus, Shia LaBeouf might be in it or whatever, so no.
I admit that I beat off to a Shia LaBeouf scene a few weeks ago.
I don't think you could say that and we wouldn't believe you. So, I mean, you could just leave it I did it.
I wasn't proud of it. I didn't want to do it because it was Shia. Like, I want to respect him. But I was for sex scenes that night. And Nymphomania was...
I mean, you can't respect him. What was it? He did a movie in the UK that bombed hard.
What's the deal with people on the internet chasing down his art project? Like his "He Will Not Divide Us" flag, and people like looked at the trails of an airplane and figured out whatever and took down the flag. You guys hear about that story?
I think he's an artistic genius.
I think at one point he had some relevancy. Now he's just kind of like, it's like just calm down for a bit, stay out of the public eye, and come back in like a year.
He is a rape victim.
Or just
respect him.
Make a good movie.
He got raped?
Yeah, he did this performance art piece where he sat in a chair at this New York art museum, and then people would come in for a certain amount of time, and they could do whatever they wanted to him, and he got raped by a woman, he claims.
Oh, you can't rape a dude if you're a woman, alright? It's not how it works physiologically. He wanted it. Now, if it was a dude that came and raped him, I'd feel kind of bad for him.
This all sounds like publicity bullshit for him to get parts in more movies. All it sounds like
he's begging for Michael Bay to take him back in Transformers.
Are you accusing a rape victim of lying, Nick?
Yeah, I am actually. Because
I know we're getting on the
full of shit.
Dude, while we're on the SJW train, did you hear about that lady that got punched at the fucking rally this past week?
Yeah, why didn't they kill her?
No, she does porn. She's
like
a porn star that got
porn?
punched in the face. No, I get the joke. No, somebody's just like, hey, this chick got punched in the face. She also does porn, so I looked it up, and it was not good porn. So for the listeners out there, if you want to see a porn star get punched in the face and just go down like a sack of potatoes, look it up. It was fucking hilarious.
Please send the link in the chat, Jeff.
I will.
Oh, that's amazing.
So there's a documentary coming out called Golden Era, and it is about the production of GoldenEye 64.
Ooh.
And the documentary supposedly will be dropping at the end of this year, and there's a Kickstarter campaign. They're hoping to raise $85,000 to put out the kind of documentary they think the fans deserve. What do you guys think?
I'd watch
I'm
it.
looking it up right now. I might actually donate to this. Because this is something I really give a shit about.
Yeah, they're going to be interviewing developers, people from the production team, studio heads, as many high caliber people as they can, and they're going to be doing a whole segment where they interview fans and such. It sounds, I didn't grow up on GoldenEye, but just from what I hear from everyone else I talk to, it might be one of the best video games of all time.
It was so ahead of its time.
Oh, it was.
And I remember the first time, I might actually donate, like, the $100... Oh, there's more. Shit, okay. I want to be in this. I'll tell you this. I want to be in this. I'm, like, the best fan they could interview, okay? I like Bond. I love this game. My N64 has the fucking game plugged into it right here next to my TV. I'm not even playing it. The game's always plugged in the console. It's my favorite game. I'm pumped.
Just roll it in there, Jeff. Just roll it in there.
I was like, come on. Oh, I'm not going to get $1,500. Fuck that. Or $5,000 to be an associate producer. Or $20,000. I think if I was a billionaire, I would just pay for the whole thing. I'm like, all right, I'm in the fucking movie, though. Like, I'm your fucking voice of the fans, but I'll pay for it.
Well, I mean, find them on social media, tweet them or Facebook message them, and see if you can shoot your own video on your phone and send it to them.
And listeners, if you want to help me out, find the people that are making this documentary and suggest that I'm one of the fans they interview, because I would love this. It's the only time I'll ever say that on this show. Help me out, get me on something. This is news to me. Like, I had no clue this existed until right now. All right, I'll read this later. I think this is a great idea. This is the first thing I'll donate to, fan funding wise. The only thing is, are they going to be able to get, like... Okay, there's a lot of shit from the game that's lost, like, there's uncompressed audio and all that shit. Are they going to be able to give, or to get that kind of stuff? Because I think that'd be really fucking cool.
And that'd be something you could suggest to them. If you do donate, I'm sure you can message them and give them ideas, and I'm sure they could set that for, like, the next goal. Don't they do, like, tiered goals on Kickstarter?
Yeah,
this is on Indiegogo.
It all depends. I mean, they would do goals that would get them more money. I don't know if the audio files would be something that.
For a fan like Jeff,
Okay, all right. That's one fan. They want more people, more money.
Well, the thing is, the audio files are, like, lost, is what I'm getting at. Like, a lot of the original shit for this game is lost. They made it on shitty computers, and then what happens with a lot of these games is the computers get whatever, they get thrown out. And if you're lucky, there'll be, like, cracked files out there in the world. But for GoldenEye, there isn't. So hopefully this is popular enough or gets enough funding where they can track shit down. Because I'd like to see unreleased shit. Like, do you guys know, originally you could play as every James Bond in multiplayer mode? Like, they had all their faces scanned in there, but for legal reasons they had to take it out. So, I don't know. This could be cool. It'd be even cooler if they got, like, I don't know, Pierce Brosnan at the end to talk about it. Because he played it on Jimmy Kimmel once, and I thought that was pretty goddamn cool.
They might. Who knows?
Yeah, fans, so you don't have to rewind. The name of that documentary is Golden Era, and you can find it on Kickstarter. Like I said, their goal is $85,000. I'm sure once word of this gets, way more widespread, it'll be easy. But be a part of it. If you care about this stuff, support these artists and these documentarians who are trying to bring you content that you care about.
Yeah, and it's such a cool thing, because GoldenEye is a game, I hate to say it, but it will be forgotten by time. Mm-hmm. It was popular, but people can't go back to enjoy. Oh, it doesn't have dual thumbsticks. It's so lacking. Blah blah blah. So you're gonna get a lot of these online critics and kids and shit. Like you were talking about your kids trying to play an NES game, Super NES game. Sit them down with GoldenEye. They won't know what the fuck to do with the controller. So this is, to me, it's like the last thing you can do to preserve GoldenEye as a game, and hopefully it works, because I think the game deserves it. It's most important first-person shooter next to Doom. Like everyone's like, oh, Halo this and Halo that. No, GoldenEye. If you didn't have GoldenEye, you wouldn't have had Halo on a fucking Xbox. It would have been on a PC. It would have been, keyboard and mouse. You wouldn't be playing Battlefront and all this shit the way you played, or Battlefield. So, it's like the granddaddy of all console shooters, and I think it should get, some respect.
Fair enough. Next, I got some Guardian news. 3 little bits about that. They've released the soundtrack listing for Guardians, the Awesome Mix Volume 2.
Yeah. And
all of the songs, you sound like my 15-year-old sister. She loves that album. All of these songs are, of course, 80s, either classic rock or pop or whatever. But the last track is an original song featuring David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, he was at the premiere last night, I think. So, I mean, if it gets you to watch it.
Is he gonna? You think he's gonna have a secret cameo in the movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Why the fuck? He's at the premiere because of the one song he did on the soundtrack. Come on.
I'm looking at the soundtrack list right now. I don't like anything yet. And as long as I don't have to hear that fucking "Hooked on a" "Surrender" by Cheap Trick, that's a good song. As long as I don't have to hear fucking "Hooked on a Feeling" anymore, I'm happy.
Oh God.
Because I worked at a comic convention maybe a month after this movie dropped, and these people, all they did is play the fucking soundtrack to Guardians of the Galaxy. And it was annoying as shit. I don't mean to be that guy, but when you hear "Hooked on a Feeling" 40 times over a weekend, you're gonna kill somebody.
Oh no, you will.
Speaking of Guardians, there's confirmed even before the release of number 2 that they are in fact doing a number 3, and James Gunn will be returning to round out the trilogy.
That's a first for a Marvel cinematic franchise, because every other one has different directors.
Yep.
The Russo brothers only directed 2 and 3 of Captain America.
I was trying to think the other day how, if they would have directed the first one, how that would have gone. And I think it would have been infinitely better, because I think those are 2 of my favorite MCU movies. One's one of my least favorite.
I disagree that it would be infinitely better. I think here's the thing. You need the first Captain America to be what it was, so you can get him into the modern age. And Joe Johnston directed The Rocketeer. He worked on Star Wars and Indiana Jones types of stuff. I feel like he was I'm not saying the movie's perfect, but I've gone back to watch it, and it's better than I remember.
Dion?
Hold on. What movies did he direct again?
He directed The Rocketeer, but he designed Star Wars. Like, he was an artist on Star Wars. He designed Boba Fett and shit like that, and worked on Indiana Jones as, I think a production guy, but he directed The Rocketeer and other stuff.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he's got good experience then, so that's fine. I mean, I'm not really big on Captain America, but yeah, that first movie needed to happen that way, just so you know who he is. You just needed you needed the origin story. That's what you needed.
I'm sure
it was good.
You could chop that movie differently and maybe do less montage. Because I don't think you can make it overly dark. Like, you can't make I almost said Good Will Hunting. You can't make Saving Private Ryan with Captain America. That movie just wouldn't sell anywhere.
No, it would look out of place, really out of place.
Like, you could have modern, I think it works in the modern era to have Captain America be a little more violent, because that's where we live. But I think people look back on the 40s as kind of like these halcyon days, we're right out of the Depression, or the Depression's about to be over, Rosie the Riveter and all that good shit. Or, there's a bright optimism about America, and I think you need that in that movie. Now, you could be cynical in the next 2 Captain America movies, because it's modern day, but it has to be the way it is, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you this. I'm happy the Russo brothers are directing Infinity War. I want them to direct all the big Marvel movies, because they're the best directors of all, with the exception of Jon Favreau. I think Jon Favreau would do just as good a job.
Yeah, I wish Jon Favreau had done Iron Man 3.
Yeah, I don't like Iron Man 3. I know I'm in the minority, but I don't watch that movie again.
I don't either. I really don't. It's not fun. It's forced, and it's not a really good story. It's just a pain in the ass. I know they had to do it because they had to do it, but I just didn't like it.
Well, the thing is, I'm tired of Robert Downey Jr. Seriously, I know I get into this every couple weeks, but he is like somebody I know that
he's
like
the weird grandpa. He's like the weird alcoholic uncle at all the family functions. He's coming. He's gonna be there. He's there anyways,
and he's got good pot.
I'm so tired of him. I don't like him in as the singular character anymore. I think Iron Man needs to exist in ensemble pieces and let Captain America. I think Captain America is infinitely more interesting. So, and I'd like to see what the Hulk could do in another movie by himself. I'd even sit through a fucking Black Widow, Hawkeye team up, something like that. But no more Iron Man. And Iron Man 3, like you said, it's not fun. It's not that good. I don't know why people say, "Oh, it's my favorite superhero movie." I watch this YouTube
that's a fucking
channel.
lie.
There's this YouTube channel I watch. It's called Geekvolution, and they're the anti-world class bullshitters. They don't cuss. They're real, calm, and boring. I'm surprised the guy has kids. Who would sleep with this dude? Anyway, my point is, their favorite superhero movie is Iron Man 3, and they shit on Spider-Man 2 and all the other ones that we love. They hate Civil War. They hate.
Now, how the fuck can you hate Civil War?
Because they're I want to call them cucks, but they're just idiots.
No, Civil War. So I mean, there are some storyline things that just didn't add up, but overall, it's a fun movie. It's a really fun movie. You know, I enjoyed it. The fighting of the sides get split and they have their big fight. It was a lot of fun to watch. Now, some of the story elements are fuzzy and some of them don't add up and they only work in certain scenarios and it's a little odd. But the movie overall, besides that, is good.
I think if you were to watch the other Marvel movies as intently as we do, I think a lot of it would make sense. Because, I mean, that was going back. Some of the plot elements in Civil War that were talked about were, like, planted all the way back in the first Iron Man movie. So, for me, like, at the very beginning of the movie, when you see that car going down the alleyway, I'm like, oh, that's Tony Stark's parents are about to be killed. Like, I knew. They didn't even show a hint. I just knew that was what's going to happen. I was like, oh, I bet Bucky did it. And then Bucky did it, and I was just, like, blown away. We'll get into that later. Quick side note, Doctor Strange is coming to Netflix next month.
Woo!
So, all the good Marvel movies are hitting Netflix. I hope they stay there permanently, because I don't want to buy them on Blu-ray.
Well, you know they're going to do it like a giant pack like they did with the first phase or whatever. Once Phase 3 is done, they might do a giant pack for all 3 phases.
I'll buy that. I only bought a handful of the Marvel movies on Blu-ray.
God, it's going to be a crate that gets dropped on you by S.H.I.E.L.D. It's going to be fucking massive.
You get a helicarrier.
It's going to be a helicarrier with all the Blu-rays in it.
Kevin Feige himself comes to your house and autographs it for you. Thanks for the support.
My God.
And yeah, thank you, Kevin.
Every time you open it, Sam Jackson's like, motherfucker!
I would buy it just for that!
Every time we try to get a DVD out, the Sam Jackson goes, motherfucker! Every time.
I think Tarantino needs to license that and put that in his, like, Tarantino box set.
Just a 9-hour disc of that on loop.
Motherfucker! I'm down for that. Dion, are you down for that?
Oh, fuck yeah. That'd be great.
So Guardians is going to have 5 post-credit scenes.
What?
So it's going to be like the last Lord of the Rings where it ended 48 times. It's going to be like that?
God, if there's one part that reminds me of Lord of the Rings at all, I'm going to fucking burn down the theater.
The $2 theater?
Well, I do love it. I might just, Aurora it? Where was the one where the guy shot up the Batman movie theater?
Aurora.
Oh, god damn!
Yes.
Wow, you took it real dark. Yeah. I thought you were just going to, like, upper deck their toilet and fuck them up or something, you know.
I haven't gone to the bathroom in a few days. I don't know if it's coming anytime soon.
Oh, jeez.
Aw, you're going to die.
So, 4 of them are going to play during the actual credits, and then there's one actual post-credit scene. I'm getting burnt out on that shit. I think I've been catching the MCU fatigue a little faster than most people around me, but I do get tired of fucking the theater and having to deal with the credits rolling through just for some real consequence, like Howard the Duck.
I will only defend that because Dan and I stay for every movie through the credits, no matter what. Like, it's just something we do. Because we always, anytime we go see a movie with CGI, we sit and we make fun of all the foreign people's names. Because it used to be like it was a bunch of Asian names. But now it's a bunch of Indian names. And we're like, what the fuck is that name? And we just laugh. That's what we, like, okay. Over the weekend, Dan and I went to see Fast and Furious 8 and Ghost in the Shell. And we laughed at the fucking names. And Fast and Furious was made by mostly Indian people, and Ghost in the Shell was mostly Asian. And by the way, Ghost in the Shell was not a piece of shit like I thought it was going to be.
I told you. It hit the right plot points at the right times, and it was a visual feast with hot-ass Scarlett Johansson and a pretty bitchin' soundtrack.
I want to buy the score, but you can't get the score. They have, if you pay close attention to it, it's the soundtrack is music inspired by Ghost in the Shell.
Motherfuckers.
Because that score, to me, Ghost in the Shell felt like fun Blade Runner. You know, it looked kind of like that, but it wasn't as dour and it wasn't as heavy. Oh, what it means to be a human and this and that. It was a little lighter in Ghost in the Shell. I don't enjoy Blade Runner. I know I'm in the minority, but I don't like Blade Runner. I'm a Harrison Ford fanatic, but man, fuck that movie. And Fast and Furious 8 was good. I know Phil was shitting on it because he's never, seen it. But it was a good movie.
I went to theaters last night and watched it, and I fell asleep in the middle of it. I was like, all right, are they at the submarine yet? Oh, I'm not there yet.
How do did you fall asleep in that movie? It was so goddamn loud.
I can fall asleep anywhere.
That's true. On vacation, you would fall asleep randomly.
You've witnessed this. Me falling asleep fucking anywhere.
I think you have narcolepsy,
I
low grade of it, but
do.
still. I think we should get that checked out.
Well, while we're
before we
talking
go
about
to New
Fast and
Orleans.
Furious,
I'll just get some cocaine. I'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
come to poker night. So speaking of Fast and Furious, a little bit, as I'm sure everyone's heard, it has had the largest global opening of all time.
I don't know about that.
No, it did.
That you don't know about facts? You don't know about what?
Yeah, but what was it? 500 or something?
Yeah.
I don't have the number. I just have it is the
Yeah,
biggest.
it's 500.
global-
It's 5. You brought the fact without bringing up the number, mother.
No, it's five. Look, it's 538 and Star
Yeah,
Wars.
like
It's
100. It was
532.
100 and something million domestically.
It was like 100 million domestically and 532 million worldwide. But
Yeah.
Star Wars was 528 worldwide, so it was like barely more than Star Wars, but still.
And because of that, they have just announced that they're actually going to be doing
Oh,
guaranteed
motherfucker.
2 sequels. They've already planned for Fast 9 and 10, and The Rock will be returning for both.
Of course he will.
Hey, what else is he doing? Baywatch.
Supposedly, Vin Diesel wrote the ending for number 10, so the next 2 are the final 2 acts in the Fast and Furious saga. This is true. This is true.
And, no, they're not. They're gonna make 14 more. Let's be honest. Jesus.
Look, I've seen every one of these in theaters. 10 is the stopping point for me. Oh, unless they're going to go to the
only
fucking
one-
moon.
I like how you have to say 10 is the stopping point. the 10th movie in this franchise. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to end up going and seeing this one because I've been convinced by multiple people. But it's like, all right, guys. All right.
Dion, I know you better than anyone on this podcast. You will like this movie. I'm not saying you're
I
going to
know.
love it.
That's
but
what you were one of those people that convinced me, asshole. So I'm just like, God damn, people at work. And then when you message it to the podcast, I was like, shit. Now I gotta go see it and see if it's actually pretty good. Fuck.
Well, the funny thing about Fast and Furious is it evolved. It used to be a car racing movie about, poor people and a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Then they all became rich in the 5th one, and now they're globe hopping. Not terrorists.
They're globe hopping, an anti-terrorist organization that the government hires out for. Like Kurt Russell hires out for some reason.
Yeah, and I got to give the cast credit. I thought Scott Eastwood did a pretty good job. The women are hot as always. The plot twist, I didn't see coming. Dion, if you're going to go see it, make sure you read up on the last 2 movies, because something big happens that I had to look
Well, I
up
saw
to
7. I
understand.
finally saw the 7th one. It was on HBO right before this one out. And then 6, I saw the second half because obviously I just wanted to see The Rock and Vin Diesel fight a dude, so I was okay with that. So I think I'm
Did
pretty
you see
much
5?
Yeah, I saw 5. You and I watched 5 together.
Oh yeah, we did. Sorry, dude. That was what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, man.
I mean, come on. How many movies
They're
have
on
we watched
the
together?
8th one, Jeff. What do you want from me?
10 is my limit, man. That's all
Whatever.
I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I did love the banter between The Rock and Jason Statham. Like, can we just move with those two guys?
I did like that in the trailer. I'm gonna beat you like a Cherokee drum. And I was like, oh shit, it's The Rock and the Transporter.
Funny
And-
you say that, Nick. Funny
Oh,
you say that.
Oh, please give me good news.
There originally existed a post-credit scene setting up a Rock and Jason Statham spinoff, but because he's a producer and doesn't like The Rock, Vin Diesel forced them to remove that from the film.
Oh god damn it! Because
My
look,
God,
the
fuck,
the
really?
best line. Look, I'm not going to spoil this, Dion. This isn't a spoiler. But the best line in the movie, they're talking shit to each other in the
jail? Yeah.
And The Rock looks over and he starts talking shit, and Jason Statham goes, "That's a big mouth on such a tiny head." And The Rock just stops and looks at him like, "Fuck, that's a good one." And they don't talk shit the rest of the movie together. That's the fucking one that put it to an end. And that pisses me off. They're not gonna have a movie together.
Man, no.
Goddamn.
Like, I just want those two in a movie because that would be hilarious. I just want to see them. Oh my god.
That's what a lot of people wanted, but supposedly Vin Diesel put the axe to it. So
Oh fuck you, Vin Diesel. What do you? God damn it. I mean,
don't
get
believe it
Triple
for a
X
second
3.
because Universal's very smart, and they've been playing to Vin Diesel's ego like the whole time. So I would not be surprised, even if they. And again, at the very least, it may not be a quote unquote Fast and the Furious movie, but I guarantee you, there's going to be a Rock Jason Statham movie for sure.
Oh,
Why don't they make Crank 3 with The Rock and Jason
Oh,
Statham?
fuck you!
Because, dude, Crank 2 was one of the craziest movies I've ever seen in theaters.
Yes.
Don't say things like that. Do not say things like that. That would be
Chev
too much.
Chelios and what's it? Okay, he should just be The Rock in that movie, like as the wrestler himself, and then Chev Chelios as Jason Statham's character. That would just be balls to the wall insanity. It'd be 90 minutes of nonstop action. Bring back Amy Smart, full body Tourette's guy, everything.
Well, no. I mean, okay. How about? Here's what we do. Since he he got burned alive in the second one, correct?
Yeah.
But he's still
Yeah.
alive. Fine. They take his brain out and put it in the Rock's head, in the Rock's body.
No, because then you couldn't. You just have fucking Jason Statham's voice in The Rock's body. No one wants that shit.
All right,
I want to see The Rock stand. They have a crazy ass fight scene. Then they don't kill each other, because they're gonna, fuck Cuckin's wife, whatever. I don't care. But they stop fighting one another, and then they beat up like a whole room of dudes straight up out of a crazy Asian movie, and then that's the end of the movie. I don't want to see body transplant. I want to see both of them in the same scene, fucking the world in the ass. That's what I want to see.
I'm down for that too. I'm okay with that.
What pisses me off about number one is I had the biggest crush on Amy Smart after I saw her in the Ryan Reynolds movie Just Friends. And so in
You
Crank,
watch shitty movies.
in Crank, he has to fuck her to stay alive, and I remember him pulling her dress down and her titty popping out, and I got so excited until I realized it was a body double.
I had something similar like that happen to me, so I feel your pain.
Your tit flopped out while Jason Statham was fucking you?
Yeah, it's a long story.
Hold on. You must tell it on air, sir.
I'll save it for episode 69,
Yes.
the sexy episode. That's next week. I'm gonna look at if any of the bullshitters aren't on episode 69. I'm gonna just talk shit about them constantly next week. But listeners,
and then we'll just make a bunch of gay jokes about him because it'll be it's episode 69. Well, I'm pretty sure Dan's just sucking Phil's cock.
I think what I'm gonna try to do
not
is
exposing their secrets.
I'm gonna try to subliminally hide porn in next week's video. That'd be impressive. Like a Fight Club, one frame of porn.
Yes.
I mean,
Like a Riley Reid cum shot.
Hey, that could be the thing that gets us over the top, man. Over the top.
A cum shot.
Hey, we know that Dustin will at least look at the fucking dick as it's hitting the camera. So I mean, we've got one view right there.
I don't
That's
know
a
why you hate
guaranteed
dicks so
watch.
much. They're pretty.
Okay. What's our next piece of news?
Touche. You won that one.
All right, next up. This is for the more sophisticated of us. Has anyone read Fahrenheit 451?
I know.
Yes.
I know about it. Yeah.
Of course you did, because we were all freshmen in high school. It's a book everyone's read. It's about a dystopic government that takes away your rights by burning books and trying to keep knowledge from people. And the main character was Guy Montag, this 40-year-old white dude. Well, HBO is making the film version of it, and it is starring Michael B. Jordan.
Hey, another thing I'm not gonna watch because of that motherfucker.
I mean, I'll check it out. I liked Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So I'll probably watch it. I mean, I'm not.
I watched the old '60s movies way back.
Did you watch them in the 60s?
What?
Did you watch them in the 60s?
Yeah, time traveled.
Time travel?
Yeah, time traveled and went to the premiere because for that movie only. Because that's what I would have done.
That's what I did.
I wouldn't have gone back to see premiere of Star Wars or Indiana Jones or Halloween. No, that movie is what I went back for.
Hey, remember there was no big.
What is one way I can fuck my life up? I have a time machine. I'm not going back to see Halloween. I'm gonna watch Fahrenheit 451.
I'd go back and
time
fight
machine.
Jesus.
You'd what?
Hold on.
I said I would go back in time and rape Jesus' mom before God got to her.
I guess that's better than you going back and sucking Jesus' dick.
Well, I thought about that too, but he's pretty high up off the ground on that cross. Plus,
But blood is
they
a
didn't have-
perfect lubricant.
They didn't have good hygiene. His pubes were probably really long and curly and smelled, and I don't know.
That to stop you from knocking the girl up.
Wait, how does that connect? Never mind. Oh my god. Back to Michael B. Jordan.
Down the rabbit hole, goddammit.
Back to The Rock's tiny head. No, Michael B. Jordan, keep his ass out of fucking movies about... Okay, are they going to make Bond Michael B. Jordan in the next film? Like, look, Michael Jordan, the basketball player, could do anything. Michael B. Jordan, the actor, can't do shit. I don't like him. I don't want him in anything.
You don't like him in
I've
Creed?
never liked any character that he has ever played in anything.
Creed?
I haven't seen Creed, so I can't say that yet.
It's you. That's the one movie you'd like, I promise.
Yeah, Creed's
I'm
good.
sure I will like it, but I have not taken the time to sit down and watch it because I had to work on a fucking comic book cover this week.
Because Hollywood's making him the black alternative. That's what they're making him. You know, he's just like, okay, there's a white guy, boom, we need a black guy for this role. Who's young and good looking? Michael B. Jordan.
But Creed was so good.
Creed is
I'm sure
good.
Creed- But Dion, Creed's a logical
I've seen it. It is
choice.
good.
It's a logical movie. I mean, Apollo Creed's a black guy. He banged a black woman. They had a kid. The kid has to be black, unless the kid pops out as albino. Then it's that movie Powder. But whatever. The point is, it works that he plays the son of Apollo Creed. Now, if he played the son of fucking Rocky Balboa, or the son of Dutch from the Terminator, or the son of, I don't know, Han Solo and Princess Leia, I'd have a fucking problem with it. That's not how genetics work. Okay? You and Hillary did not have an Asian baby.
For a while, he did have the squinty ass eyes.
He's a baby, goddammit!
I just love babe, like how whenever we'll joke about teasing D2, Jeff gets kind of like a little pissed. He's like, "Hey, but he's a baby guy." I'm like, "Okay, dude, goddamn, I'm just kidding." Fuck.
No, it's not that I'm pissed. I'm not pissed. I don't know where the line is drawn, so I'm like, I don't know where to go. How far can I take this before I upset Dion and Hillary? So I'm just gonna defend him until he's like 7 or 8 years old. I'm gonna call him a shithead or something. You suck, Dion.
I feel like I'm just in the minority where I'm just like, Creed was so good. I've given him and he's made so many bad decisions. I know, but Creed was so good.
Yeah, but Dion, you shouldn't change the color of a character. Like, if they're established as a white guy, they're white. If they're a black guy, they're
but
black.
No,
really
that's true.
upset at the fucking next Fantastic Four movie.
No.
I mean, I know how damaged I was because you and I got into it with the guy that owns your comic book shop, and we were saying, listen, it's made blah 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 blah, and I argued with so many people when Fantastic Four, then they announced that he was going to be in it, and then I realized, I'm like, why am I defending? It's Fantastic Four movie. It's gonna suck anyway. But still, Creed was just so good.
No, I'll agree with 100%. Creed is awesome, but I think they're honestly making him like the alt black guy. It's like, okay, character's white. We need to make this. We need to satisfy the SJW populace.
Yeah, he needs to fucking calm the fuck down with these crazy ass indie movies. Not Boy Wonder, but it was the other one where his mom gets killed. It was on Netflix for a long time, and his mom gets killed, and he goes for revenge. That movie was fucking boring, and
was that Fruitvale Station?
What was the name of it?
I don't know. The list of movies I saw is like Fruitvale Station.
It might be that.
That doesn't sound familiar. It could be that, but it might be it. But that movie was fucking. I literally couldn't get past the first half of that movie. It's like you really need to not John Travolta your career right now, Brand. I'm just saying, man. Fell a little bit.
Speaking of something similar, that Aladdin remake they've been talking about.
Oh, if you fucking bring up Will Smith, I swear to God.
Everyone loves Robin Williams as Genie.
Yeah.
Fuck.
How about someone who's exactly like him in every way, Will Smith?
Yeah, as long as they remake Mrs. Doubtfire with Will Smith, I'm
No!
Hello!
God.
Too. Even in Suicide Squad, it was just like Will Smith acting as, or trying to act as fucking Deadshot or whatever.
Will Smith starring as Will Smith.
Yeah, because it's just him trying to act now. It's just Will Smith being Will Smith, playing a character. That's all it is now. And he's lost. He's no longer an actor. Let him run his kid's life into the ground and make movies for Jaden.
In his defense.
Here we go.
Oh no, we're not going anywhere. I'm just saying. He's made really bad decisions, and he's trying. And again, he's not. This is one of them. We can agree. This is one of those bad decisions. Will, if you're listening, just don't do it, dude. Just stop. Make Bad Boys 3. Pick
Wild
movies.
Wild West 2.
Pick movies where we know that it's Will Smith and you're suited to play that character. Listen, man. You're cool, Will. You're cool. But you'll never be Robin. I'm sorry. You'll never be Robin. And After Earth was a horrible decision that you need to live with.
Yeah, Dad. You need to listen to Dion.
Jake, thank you,
just
Jake.
for a moment though, because if I can be serious, Robin Williams was a comedic genius. Will Smith was kind of funny. He gets a good one-liner at the end of this scene, or he makes a couple jokes here and there.
I think that's a good point because he was very funny, but he did things that wore out his welcome. And I think it's a slight difference. It's a little bit of a difference.
But if you go back and look at The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he's not the funniest character. Carlton is.
Yeah. But that scene in Bad Boys 2 where the fucking boyfriend comes to pick up Martin Lawrence's daughter, that scene with him and Martin Lawrence is hilarious. And he's arguably the funniest part because it fits that loud, obnoxious. I'm not the smartest dude in the scene right now, but I could steal the scene. And then since 2003, man, he fucking banked I'll do Pursuit of Happiness, I'll do 7 Pounds, I'll do fucking iRobot, and it's we like you, man, but fucking stop acting, just Will Smith, bro. And he wore out that
Will Smith.
Bad Boys too well.
When has Will Smith been in a pure comedy film without action?
Ooh.
I don't think ever. Robin Williams was a straight-up comedian. Will Smith is like an action star that has funny lines. That'd be like putting The Rock in this movie, They're not fucking comedians. And Robin Williams had a great depth to his abilities. Will Smith is kind of one note. I'm a kind of a badass, kind of a joker. Robin Williams could play anything. He can make you laugh. He can make you cry. He can make you think. He could be zany. He could be serious.
Yeah, I mean, and there were a couple movies where he was a creepy old guy or whatever.
1 hour photo.
1 hour photo. There was one with him and Al Pacino. What was it?
Insomnia?
Yeah, I think is that what it was? But
I'm not arguing that I'm never gonna argue that shit. I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not.
Well, jury's out.
Well, shut up.
Oh.
I'm just saying. Will Smith is very good. Like you said, a action star who has comedic lines, right? I'm just saying, stick to that. That when he's on, Will Smith is fucking. He's never going to. And again, I think we all can agree, him as the genie's a fucking joke. But this is a result of Will Smith making really shitty decisions, and he's making choices now where he thinks his fans want him to go, and I think he thinks we want to see him as the genie, where it's nah, dude, at least you're getting away from After Earth, but now you're moving towards dumb shit like live action Disney shit, and just stop. That's all I'm saying is divert one more time.
Yeah, because I didn't Loudy in the chat say Eddie Murphy should do it? Because Eddie Murphy would be fine. I think he would be a great choice for this.
Eddie Murphy that dude's a broken husk of what he used to be.
But even a broken Eddie Murphy is still funnier than a fully functioning Will Smith.
True.
Was he ever really fully functioning though? I think
I don't think
credit that he doesn't deserve is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Who, Will Smith or Eddie Murphy?
Will Smith.
I'm about to say, don't you dare shit on Axel Foley, goddamn.
You know goddamn well I would never dishonor my family.
Say, you've lost your mind before.
It's true.
Your dad is Danny Glover, all right? Don't shit where you But all I'm saying is you gotta just, you gotta be honest with this. I don't think any of us want to see another Aladdin movie. Aladdin is my favorite Disney movie. I love it. It was the first video game I ever beat. I had the toys. I just love Aladdin. That was my movie. Robin Williams, what made that movie? Anything else is going to pale in comparison. Oh my god, Beauty and the Beast made all this money. Well, Beauty and the Beast was marketed towards women and gay people and stupid shit like that. And they all bought it because they don't make movies targeted towards people like that often, so they all run out and see it.
Yeah, even
They all prance out, excuse you.
Oh, okay.
Even though they have the original one on Blu-ray, that came out a couple years ago. But no, they want to see a live action one because, it's going to be different. It's fucking not. It's the exact same goddamn movie.
I know this sounds like I'm trying to be militant, but when I have kids, like, I'm not going to censor what they watch to a point where it's like, well, you can't watch this because it's too whatever. But, like, I'm going to tell them, like, this is a stupid movie and you can't watch it. So, like, for example, if I have a daughter...
That's the definition of censor. But no, go ahead, continue.
No, I'm not. No. It's going to be like, oh, it's bad for you. No, I'm going to say, this is a dumb movie. Watch this version. Like, give them the cartoon instead of the live-action version. Or if they want to watch fucking Power Rangers, whatever.
Also imagine how confused kids are going to be in, like, 15 years when they see, like, they'll Google Ghostbusters or Power Rangers or anything like that and see that there's, like, 3 versions of the same thing. They're going to be fucking confused as all hell. Like, which one's good? Which one's bad? Which one sucks? Why are there 3 versions of this? What happened?
Like, seriously, when I have kids, as a family, we will never watch the Melissa McCarthy Ghostbusters. I will never own that movie. It'll never enter a home I own.
Well, plus I think Nick is giving these new versions a little bit more credit than they deserve. I don't, even right now, you have remakes. We can at least say, you know what, we can watch both and objectively say the original was better. For example, we're born in the late 80s, but Jeff and I fucking love Miami Vice. And even though we both enjoy the new one, we're never going to be like, oh man, oh my God, there's a movie, there's the original Miami Vice, oh fuck, which one is... No, even going forward, our fucking children, no one's going to say, oh man, goddamn, that Melissa McCarthy though about Ghostbusters? Oh, I can't wait to watch that on Friday. No, they're going to look at the originals and be like, wow, Bill Murray is a goddamn awesome demigod sent from above to give us joy and happiness. That's never going to happen. I mean, so even if that movie comes out and fucking Power Rangers becomes the next Fast and the Furious franchise and there's fucking 10 of them, no one's going to be like, oh my God. I think our children are going to have the most sense to be like, you know what? That 1994 Power Rangers though, that fucking 94 Power Rangers, though, way fucking better than this fucking bullshit.
Gotta disagree with you. Gotta disagree. Nick's whole premise was 15 years from now, kids are going to Google the names of these franchises. Because all these franchises are being rebooted in the internet era, all the news articles are going to be devoted to them, the controversy, the reactions and stuff like that. They're going to get more screen time now on the internet because they were born in this digital era. And I think that when a kid goes back and types in Ghostbusters, I guarantee 85% of it is going to be about the controversies surrounding the female one.
But even then, 15 years from now, the original is going to be a lot more readily available, even to it is to us. Even now, I know we talked about a long time ago on the show, we talked briefly about watching old episodes of Power Rangers on Netflix. I mean, even now, it's about 15 years later, and the new one comes out. We talk about the shitty one that's coming out, whatever, and we're still automatically, hey, we can easily find it. And I think 15 years from now, kids it'll be the same thing. They can look it up, they'll hear about it, but that natural reaction to look at the original, to look it up, it's going to be available. You watch it and you say, you know what, the new one ain't that good.
That's not true. I have young siblings, and to tie into my point earlier about my kids with the video games, kids are going to look for the newest, shiniest version, the one that's more talked about. And I'm telling you, because they're newer and they just happen to come up at this time where, social media is at an exponential rate, this is going to be the one that dominates that. And then whenever the next reboot of Power Rangers is going to be that generation's one. That's just how it works.
Well, then one thing, too, it's sad. I Googled Ghostbusters just for the hell of it, the entire top row is the new movie.
That's what I told you. It's common sense.
The second row, the third picture, is the soundtrack, and then a couple more pictures of the original, and then the next row is the new one with one picture, and then it's just the new. You have to type in Ghostbusters 1984 to find, the original shit.
Right, it's just common sense. It came out at the right time,
But I don't think. Here's the one thing about Ghostbusters. We'll use this as an example. Ghostbusters was a landmark film that's widely regarded. Maybe not to... I don't know if you like it, but I know I love it. Dion loves it. Nick loves it. In general, it's like of a certain people love that movie, and it has a wider audience. This new one is kind of looked down on. I don't think as many people, even going forward, maybe if you Google it, yeah, you'll see the new one, but I don't think as many people are going to ever own... this one won't have the cultural impact the original did.
That's fine.
So
all I was saying is that Nick's premise was if you Google it.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm saying that, but I think
but to that point,
but it won't be widely available for those kids. Like if your kids in 10 years decide I'm going to look up some movie and they look up Ghostbusters, and let's say I don't know D2 comes to I watch D2 for a week and he's like I want to watch Ghostbusters, so I pull out Ghostbusters. It ain't going to be a Melissa McCarthy one. I think most people are going to have the original Ghostbusters and they'll just. I don't think the kids will ever really experience that version. I think whoever you're with, their version is what that next generation will experience.
Well, and I think kind of going back to what Cuckin was talking about, the fact that it comes up googly, if that's a fucking
googly,
yeah, googly, that doesn't mean that that's what they're going to choose to watch. So Ghostbusters is a perfect example because even if you Google Ghostbusters 2016. You'll see the controversy. The other thing you'll see is it lost $70 million fucking dollars. So even if it's the first 2 pages of what you pull up, and again, that's even admittedly knowing a lot of people aren't going to go to that 3rd page and find the original. They're going to see that the movie sucked. So even if it's the most visually accessible thing when you Google it, you're not Googling that it's good. You're Googling that it's bad, and people didn't like it, and it lost a bunch of fucking money. And then you'll keep looking, and then you'll see the original, and you'll say, this is why they were mad. This is why no one went, not no one, but this is why it lost a lot of money. This is why it brought that conversation of, Hollywood fucking with a lot of good shit. This is why people talk about that now. And I think even though you'll see it, they'll have the common sense to be like, okay, this was not good. And that'll happen with Power Rangers. That's going to happen with a lot of fucking reboots. That's why I think Miami Vice is a perfect example of it going in the opposite direction. Even though it was like 06 and that wasn't kind of the beginning of rebooting to where people followed it a lot. You're gonna see the newest version, but you're gonna see, people didn't go and see it. It lost money.
Yeah, but Miami Vice is a bad example because they're made by the same dude. Like. That'd be like if I had my comic and then I made a movie of it years later. Like,
but in 06 they pushed because obviously I love Miami Vice, so I was following the movie. They pushed the fact that Jamie Foxx won a fucking Academy Award. It has Academy Award winning Jamie Foxx. Colin Farrell was huge in the mid-thousands.
Oh, I know, but all I'm trying to get is this: I don't think the Miami Vice movie is a bad movie at all.
No,
it doesn't really hurt the show.
Right.
And the thing is, the show was so much more popular. That's what I was going to get back with, like these original versions. Like I was going to end it with this: when I have kids, I'm going to be really picky with what I show them. Like when we do Star Wars, we're starting with the first movie, not Episode 1. I don't give a fuck about the in-continuity storyline. I'm going to release it. I'm going to show it to them like it came out, like the world experienced it. When it's time to watch a Ghostbusters movie, we're watching the first one, maybe the second one if I'm feeling nice. The point is, like, Power Rangers, when they watch Power Rangers, they can watch any version. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't say if it's good or not. I don't plan on ever seeing it. My point is, though, like, I'm going to pick what they watch, and I'm going to try to give them the best quality shit, because I consider myself like a pop culture analyst and junkie. The quality of entertainment has dropped. Like, kids show back in the day, like X-Men. I've been watching X-Men on Hulu. X-Men had plot threads that went multiple episodes. It was a nice parallel between racism and hatred and society and all this shit without pushing it down your throat. You could watch the show and enjoy it as just a straight action cartoon, but you can go back and look at it as an adult and see how deep the show actually was. Today, every kind of cartoon is just sell a toy, 5-second attention span. Like, I don't want to have kids that have no attention span and can't enjoy anything because they're like, oh, I'm going to play a quick this and it's over and I'm on to the next thing. No, like, take it in. You heard how excited I was about GoldenEye about an hour ago. Like, that was the game. That was the whole experience.
Did you see the perks for that by chance?
I did. I kind of want to donate enough to get the fucking golden flash drive.
No, but they also have a watch. They also have a watch as well.
I don't mean to brag, but I have the real.
That's true. You do. That's true. You do.
So for me, like a kiddie toy version for like $100 means nothing when I have a real one.
Very true.
So.
Very true.
Well, let's just move on to the next news segment because we got to talk about Star Wars. That's our
we have a show to do. Goddamn.
Well, here's my final news segment. Final news segment is the Battlefront 2 trailer dropped, as did a bunch of information about its multiplayer and single-player campaigns. What do you guys think? I know, Jeff, you're not a big gamer, but you're a big Star Wars guy. Other guys, I think we all have tried Battlefront a little bit. What do you guys think?
I've been scorched so bad with this Battlefront. I don't know. I'm going to have to wait for more shit to come out. I'm still not convinced to get Battlefront 2.
I mean, I own the first one. I really like it. I really enjoy playing it. I played it earlier today as well. I mean, I'm really excited that there's actually going to be a story in this next one. You're actually going to have more stuff to do. I'm excited about that.
I personally won't buy it because I'm either... One, I don't like modern Star Wars. I don't want anything associated with it. Like, if people go, oh, you just hate everything. No. Like, you know, there's sub-licensors to Disney that make old Star Wars merchandise, like SH Figure Arts. Like, I go on about it. Oh, I spent $80 on a Han Solo action figure. Cool. I'll buy that old school shit, but I don't want to buy anything with Episode 7. It doesn't excite me. So I'll pass on this game. Now, if they go back and remake Rogue Squadron in high def, I'm there the first day. Like, that's a game I'd pick up at midnight to come home and replay. It could be the same fucking game with new graphics and new audio, and I'm excited. I played Battlefront 1. It was okay. Like, I liked the beta, but I don't like online gaming because I don't like playing games with other people, if that makes sense, unless I'm in the same room with them. Like, GTA is different because it's still the same open map, and you guys just happen to be there. But, like, when you play other games... Halo to the multiplayer to single player is a completely different experience.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I just prefer a single player game, and Battlefront just never appealed to me. And like I said, I don't like the new Star Wars, and EA games aren't that fun to me. You know, they feel kind of hollow. Thankfully, this one doesn't have DLC. So,
yeah, let's go over some good points from this. They're adding a single player campaign, which anyone who knows about number 1 was completely absent, and it follows a fucking female protagonist who commands an elite group. It commands an elite group of these Imperial troops, and it spans the 30 years from the end of Return. You know, they're on a mission. They look up, the Death Star explodes. She's lost, and it goes all the way to the destruction of Starkiller Base. As Jeff pointed out, there's not going to be any DLC. My fucking dogs are barking, and I'm going to cut their fucking heads off and feed them to a chink. Trying to think. There's some really good points. It's supposed to mirror a lot of the original Battlefront 2 in terms of you can have classes finally. It spans more than one era. So personally, I think there's a lot of potential. I'm getting it. I like Battlefront 1, especially after all the DLC came out. Scarif is my shit. I love that map.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun.
It's gorgeous, and the gameplays are awesome there. But yeah, Battlefront 2 just looks visually stunning. I'm gonna pick it up day one.
I mean, here's the thing: if they were to do like, I liked The Force Unleashed. I liked both of those.
Oh,
games.
those are fun as hell.
Best games, but they were fun. Dion, I borrowed your copy when I lived with you. I played The Force Unleashed on my own PlayStation. I mean, that was a fun game. I like Star Wars video games. I mean, in the mid '90s, we bought a new computer, and I had. Was it Rebel Assault?
Oh, God.
X-Wing and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Then over on the Super Nintendo, I had Return of the Jedi. I had the whole trilogy on the Super Nintendo. I love Star Wars games. I just don't like... I either want to replay shit from the movies. Like, I still have the fucking Wii hooked up to my TV strictly to play Rogue Squadron because I can play the Battle of Yavin and destroy the Death Star. Like, just give me fun shit. Like... Another problem I had with the Star Wars games is it follows characters I don't fucking care about or like. I don't care if this sounds sexist. I never buy a game where you play as a woman. Why? Because when I play a game, it's like I'm in this scenario. I don't see myself as a woman ever, so I don't enjoy it. Like if Grand Theft Auto 6, you had to play as a woman, probably wouldn't buy that game until they said, well, you can play as this other dude too, or you can make your own character. So I know I'm in the minority with that, but I don't... Star Wars, all of a sudden, it's like there's this big push for like everyone's a female... What the fuck? It feels forced at this point. I don't know how I'm the only one that ever sees it.
I mean, that part aside, my issue, obviously, there was no single-player campaign, for sure. Then it was, because I bought it, obviously, to play with my sister and to play with Hillary. The split screen modes weren't fun. Period. Obviously, I enjoy playing online, but I don't want to play by myself all the goddamn time with people that I don't know. That's and I know a lot of people that are like that. And if I'm gonna play, online with another person or split screen, make it fucking good. And fucking clearly, the first Battlefront was made it was essentially fucking Quake Star Wars version. That was it. And that was fucking bullshit. That was fucking bullshit. Especially when, and I should have known when they didn't make it Battlefront 3. That was my fucking dumbass making that decision. But there's a reason that they're trying to copy a lot of what they did in the original Battlefront 2. Because I don't want to fucking have to buy the game and then the split screen is fucking bullshit. I don't want to fucking do that.
Well, you
can play as Boba Fett or Han Solo, but it's just a character for fucking online single player. Like, I fucking want to play as Han Solo in the movies.
And that's changing with this game, supposedly. Anything that you can do online, supposedly, you can do offline single player or split screen.
If they fix the fucking vehicle combat, I could get...
Yes.
Because the vehicle combat's horseshit. I don't care what anybody says. I played the beta, which I'm sure the controls weren't any different than the actual release game. To fly an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter was a fucking chore.
And remember, they promised in the first one you can go from planet side to space. That was a selling point.
I thought it was I thought they announced before it came out that it was happening.
Say it again. Someone coughed.
No, I thought before the game came out they announced that wasn't happening because I thought there was a major complaint levied against it before it even hit shelves.
I didn't see it until after it came out where they said that you can't go from planet side to space. Now I could be wrong. Obviously, you could have seen it before it was released, but I did not hear that until I bought the fucking game day of.
No, and that sucks. But they did hire a completely new third company to handle just the mechanics for the space fighting. So it seems like
I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, I really hope you're right, man. Curtis, I fucking hope I'm wrong. I really do. 'Cause I love Battlefront, and like I said, I got a lot of enjoyment single player playing it. But again, it was fucking the Star Wars version of No Man's Sky, man. A lot of shit that you were supposed to be able to do. No campaign. Sorry, guys. Buy the fucking gold.
I've never seen a AAA title drop to $20 so fast.
No, seriously, it was
that
fucking
game. The
bullshit.
deluxe edition's $25, and that's not even 2 years old.
Dude,
not even.
I wanted to play the fucking Battle of Coruscant like you could in Battlefront 2, the first one, and no, well, you can't go planet side to fucking space. Sorry, this fucking game.
Well, remember they wiped the old canon out, so there wouldn't be a Battle of Coruscant. Are you talking about from episode 3?
Episode 3, yeah, because that's in the first. That's in the original Battlefront 2.
I thought Battlefront 2 came out in 2004.
No,
it was after episode 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was hanging out with my friend Kenny today, and we were talking about the old Battlefront 2. He was a huge fan of it, and talked about all the planets basically that you saw in the Order 66 montage were playable places in that game.
Like not only that, but you could play as the 501st, and you play as the 501st from fucking episode 2, from the Battle of Geonosis up until the beginning of Return of the Jedi. I played the shit out of the original Battlefront 2, and I promise you, not only was Battle of Coruscant in, but the fucking the single player campaign was awesome.
We'll be glad you didn't.
I was just gonna say I read a lot of comments today, just going through different forums. People talking about how many hours they logged in on the original Battlefront 2. A lot of people saying it's the game they have put the absolute most time in ever. I wish I would have played it because by all accounts it's amazing.
Well, next time we come up, we'll have to play it because I have it and I still have my PS2. But like I said, there's and again, anytime a franchise calls back to the original one, they copy certain aspects of it. That's when I get fucking worried, man. Because it's a lot like the last Battlefront 2, guys, where we're gonna fucking there's a fucking single player campaign. So it's not like you didn't know that existed for the first one, right? But
here's the thing. Electronic Arts is garbage. LucasArts was cool. They made a really unique style game. Always. Even when other companies were in there like Factor 5 doing Rogue Squadron. EA is lazy. They just take the code from any other fucking game, Battlefield in this case, slap some Star Wars skins on it, and that's your fucking game. I just can't support lazy. It's like when I bitch about Episode 7 being lazy filmmaking. That's lazy game design. The fact that you can pump out a game that looks like that in such a short amount of time tells me how little you actually put into it.
I got a question for all you guys. What is the best Star Wars game of all time? You can only pick one.
Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader for the GameCube.
Damn, it was an N64 one. Shit, what was it?
Shadows of the Empire?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Dion?
Fuck. Dude, I'm gonna have to go with Battlefront 2. I think that obviously Knights of the Old Republic had been out, but fucking, it was a first-person shooter. It was Star Wars. Fucking, the campaign was epic. The online, it was the thing, that broadband PS2 online, it put it on the fucking map. Not to mention that the perfect integration of the movie characters into the single-player campaign mode. Oh, Lord Vader has touched down. He's available. That was I gotta go with Battlefront 2, man. I was gonna go with Force Unleashed, but I gotta go with Battlefront 2.
I always wish you would actually experience Rogue Squadron because the game starts at the Death Star.
Yeah, I played so little of that. I hate myself for not playing around with it.
It goes all the way through to the final Death Star, Endor, and this is before they tried to integrate the whole, on-ground shit, and it sucked.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It perfected the Battle of Hoth. You got to play, random shit you wouldn't expect to play. There's a mission where you fly through the asteroids field from The Empire Strikes Back. There's levels where you fight... you go to Cloud City... post-Empire Strikes Back to fight the Empire, and you have to fly the fucking cloud car through the chasms of Cloud City and all that shit. And it's got great music and great... The thing is, that game looks so good with a slight HD overhaul. You could re-release it today and people would buy it.
I remember playing the Hoth mission at a friend's house, and I remember being that was the game that made me really want an N64 was fucking Rogue Squadron or GameCube.
No,
it was.
I would say because
GameCube
because the Rogue Squadron on N64 was fun, but the one
GameCube was what I meant. Perfect. But I like I said, that was what really I wanted a GameCube for, not for fucking Smash Bros. Because of Rogue Squadron. But and that's one of the funny things about fucking Battlefront 2. One of the reasons I thought it was the best I think that was the first Battlefront where one of the missions was right after the Millennium Falcon takes off from Cloud City and you have to retake the city. And even the first one was fucking good. God, fuck you, Star Wars, EA. God damn it.
My favorite, and I don't know many people have played it besides my friend Kenny and some others, but the Revenge of the Sith video game. It was an amazing.
Based on 3, fantastic.
It was awesome. You play the whole movie as a platformer. It has an alternate ending where Anakin kills Obi-Wan and then kills the Emperor and takes over the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part to me was the versus mode. It was like Mortal Kombat with Star Wars characters and lightsabers.
But the best part of that, my favorite part of the versus mode was the dude that was trying to voice Mace Windu as Samuel L. Jackson. And in versus mode, if you won with Mace Windu, he would go, "Yeah, that's what I thought," or some shit like that. He would walk away with his lightsaber, and that would be his little cutscene when he would walk away from the camera. And I was just like, I love this game. Plus you could use force lighting until they caught on fire.
Yeah, it was Mortal Kombat with Star Wars. I don't know how much cooler a versus mode for any game could get. Plus, that was just part of the game. You could still do a whole movie's worth of storyline, and it came out the Tuesday before the Friday the film came out.
Yeah.
So if you played the shit out of it like I did, you got through basically the movie before you saw the movie. It was awesome.
I forced my mom to take me to Target to go get it. I saved all my allowance to go buy the Episode 3 based on the movie game for PS2.
It's awesome.
Can I throw out one? Okay, go
ahead.
No,
it's awesome, and I never hear anyone talk about it. It's always, and for a good reason. The big ones like Rogue Squadron and those, the really well done, a lot of popular ones. But for me personally, man, that was great.
I want to throw out a quick honorable mention: Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the Nintendo 64. That game, look, Episode 1 is a shitty movie, and I hated it even back then, so I'm not going, oh, it's cool to hate the prequels, because I don't need to hear your shit. Not you guys on the show, the listeners out there. My point is, though, I bought that game New Year's Eve 1999, and that's all I did through the whole Y2K scares. I played that fucking game. It is awesome. My friend Brandon and I used to rent it before I owned it, and we would sit up all night and play pod racing, is how we described the game. It was awesome. It's the best thing to come out of Episode 1. Seriously, like, the lightsaber duel's cool, whatever.
The
But that
PlayStation 1 game was
and
pretty sweet.
No, it's fantastic.
I never played it.
The sound effects are awesome. It's a racing game, but it's not hillbillish like NASCAR. Like, it's the perfect racing game.
I bought it for PS2, or not PS2, but I bought the PS2 upgrade on PS4 recently, Star Wars Racer Revenge.
Yep.
I beat the whole game in 45 minutes, but it was a lot of fun. At first, I got gold on every race, first try. But one thing I want to say before we go on to the next segment, I wish they would do more movie games for Star Wars. I would love if EA went back and said, we're going to do all, 9 Star Wars movies as separate games. You get a game per movie. I think that'd be a lot of fucking fun.
Absolutely. And right now, the best we have are the fucking Lego franchises. And I've played with my kid because a lot of the puzzles are way too hard for the age group they're selling to. But I played it, and it's just way too kiddie and campy. Like, I want, like you, Jeff, an actual game where I just go through and play the fucking movie with realistic graphics and adult content.
Yeah, and I mean, you could do, like, okay, so for the Super Nintendo, they re-released, or they made Star Wars games. They're called Super Star Wars. You can embellish on the movies to just create a full game, you know? Like, the game starts with Luke in the fucking Dune Sea fighting Womp Rats with a blaster and all this shit. And that's cool. It doesn't have to be like you walk and watch the sunset and then drive a land speeder to find R2. No, you can take artistic liberties with the game, but just base it on the movie. Like, the last battle, or the last couple levels could be Escape from the Death Star. You're Obi-Wan and you fight Darth Vader. You fight the TIE Fighters. Then you fight the Death Star in your X-Wing, and that's the end of the game. And maybe it has like a multiplayer feature where you can all, 4 people online can fight the Death Star. Some dumb shit like that. Just, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of life left in the original franchise, and you could milk it for some games.
They
absolutely.
hate money.
So this was this our longest news segment? An hour? God, almost 2 hours.
By
news?
far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a timestamp right here in the show so I can, tell the listener where the Star Wars discussion starts. Because I don't want to hear, I listened for 2 hours and there was no Star Wars. False advertising, thumbs down, worst video ever. Bitches. Anyway, so last Friday, the Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi trailer was released. And I watched it, and I made a reaction video. Not reaction per se. I just recorded my thoughts on it. It got 10,000 views in like 3 or 4 hours total.
Basically, you lost your shit when you saw the Star Wars trailer.
I was just so... Yeah, well, okay, I'll talk about the trailer in a second. But the video was out. I gave my thoughts. I'm going to let everyone else talk about the trailer. I'll chime in, and at the end, I'll repeat whatever. But if you want to go to our channel and hear my in-depth discussion, do it. Okay, so first off, what did you guys think of the trailer?
I listened to your reaction, and although it was fucking hilarious, it was not that bad. You were definitely shitting your pants a little preemptively. Now, don't get me wrong. They fucking copied the first one. Fuck you for that, by the way, Star Wars. But I'll admit, man, it got me. I was not excited as I was for the first trailer for The Force Awakens. But this one, I found myself getting a little bit excited. Obviously, seeing her hand on the stone and the pebbles floating up and all that bullshit. Seeing the them speeding over the fucking desert terrain randomly with smoke coming out. Whatever, we'll get to that shit later. And they show the close up of Kylo Ren with the lightsaber and all this other bullshit. I got a little bit excited, and then obviously I remembered this is the exact same trailer. Some shit doesn't make sense, and I came to my senses a little bit. So I was out of a 10. I was at a 5. It definitely wasn't as bad as what you made it out to be.
No, I'm not worried about what I thought. I just love how you're like building up, like, oh, it was kind of good. And it's a 5.
Yeah, I'm just
like, it's 1 point from failing.
Once the trailer ends, and you're like, oh yeah, common sense is a thing, and then you're like, yeah, back to a 5.
Nick,
I was like, once again, like I was really excited when Force Awakens came out, and I was hoping it was going to be good, and it failed fucking horribly, and it was just a copy of A New Hope, and it pissed me off to no end. from what I keep hearing is that this is a copy of The Empire Strikes Back, and that is going to piss me off to no end as well if that's true. And I'm not excited at all, but I'll go watch it for the show. I just don't care about anything Disney does anymore. I wish they would just burn alive all of them. I don't fucking care.
It ain't that bad, you bitch.
Fuck you.
Go get a beer and shut the fuck up. Lendenfield?
I'm the only one on our show that actually liked episode 7. Love it, as a matter of fact. And this trailer did not disappoint. The imagery was beautiful. The soundtrack they used was awesome. I like that they didn't reveal any major plot points. I like that they keep this air of mystery up. And call me what you want, but I truly, unexpectedly got chills at Mark Hamill's last line. There was a physical reaction in my body to hearing that. They have this down to a science. They have enough money to do it. That trailer did for me exactly what they were hoping it would, and I'm okay with that. I like feeling good. I like looking forward to something, and this trailer delivered on all fronts for me.
Cool. I watched it, and there's only one part of the trailer I liked, and you probably didn't even recognize it. That there has to be a flashback in this movie because it shows Luke Skywalker flying his X-Wing, Red 5. Because if you watch it, the way you can tell which X-Wing is there's lines on the wing. And his Red 5 flies by some A-Wings and some medical frigate-looking ships. It's the only part of the trailer I went, oh, that's cool, Luke Skywalker's going to fly his X-Wing again. Because he didn't really do much piloting in Return of the Jedi. He flew from Tatooine, and then the rest of the movie he was transported by other people. But, you know, piloting is like his biggest thing before he's a Jedi. So it's cool to see that back. To me, it's the same old shit. Star Wars has never been a mystery box franchise. You know? That's a J.J. Abrams thing that's kind of carried on. Which, okay, that's fine, but that to me, that doesn't excite me. Like, oh, this and that. And, I mean, there are Empire Strikes Back similarities, Nick. You said you hope that you don't see any. Like, there are fucking walkers, and instead of the snow, they're in the sand. It's like, come on. Like, I mean, it'd be fine. Like, okay, in Rogue One, it made sense to have a different form of Imperial walker, because you attack an Imperial base. That makes sense because, you know, you would fortify your base with the weaponry and all that shit in your vehicles. No complaints there. But here it's like, well, we're going to evoke the kind of emotion you had when you watched The Empire Strikes Back when they sped towards the AT-AT walkers. It's like, okay, well, do something else. And then Rey's training on a desolate area with a lone master. Okay.
Instead of a backwards planet, it's an island.
and you're talking about the rocks she levitates with her hand. Remember when Luke levitated the rocks when he was upside down with Yoda on his foot? Same old shit. Remember when Han Solo was frozen in carbonite? Well, guess what? Finn is now encased in some kind of capsule, sleeping, just like Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back. That's what pissed me off. It's like, look.
See, the Finn thing, I think, is a bit of a stretch. Obviously, that one, I'm giving them a little bit of a pass. Obviously, my assumption is that it's him healing from the end of The Force Awakens. But again, I'm sure it's gonna be, my friends Finn and Poe are in danger. I have to leave, Master Luke.
If he says that shit,
I would bet my fucking right nut
if
that's
he
gonna
says
happen.
that exact line, I will shit myself, sir. I
I'm
better
telling
not.
you right now. I bet my fucking nut that's gonna happen, and that line is gonna happen. And I hope she does the same like breath thing. My friends are in danger. Like that's gonna happen. But
This movie's going to do something that we've never seen before in a Star Wars movie.
Have an outright flashback?
No, we've already had the outright flashback. We're going to have a direct continuation, like, with this short period of time. Every other Star Wars movie's years between. You know, the first one to Empire is 3 years, and Empire to Return of the Jedi is a year, chronologically, in their time. So, this one is going to continue where the last one left off. That's never happened in a Star Wars movie. So that's a positive I can say. We've never seen that.
Is that really a positive though, or are you just kind of trying to make a positive? Because that doesn't seem like a positive.
I'm trying to make it positive. This movie looks fucking dumb.
Let's be honest, come on.
before a month before this movie comes out, so around Thanksgiving, what I'm going to do is after all the trailers have been released, I'm going to sit and I'm going to make a video where I guess the entire plot of the film, and I'm going to base it off The Empire Strikes Back, and then we'll be able to go back because the world will have access to this video. We'll be able to go back and see how close I was, because if you go back and listen to videos from 2 years ago, Dion, you were on the show. I was pretty goddamn close to guessing the entire premise of Episode 7, like down to like
you call
the
Han
shit
Solo
with Han
dying
Solo
too,
and
dude.
all that.
Yeah, you did.
I called it before the movie was ever fucking made, because here's the thing about this is why I made the video that I made, and this is why it went on for 20 minutes. A lot of people that go see these movies, it's a business. You want to make as much money as possible. That's fine, but for those people that go see the movie and that's all you know, don't act like you're a fucking expert. Don't act like you have some kind of knowledge that you can sit and go, well, this, and that. No, okay. There's this thing called the internet. If you really are interested in the thing that you just saw and it's popular, go look up some information on it and learn the backstory or the history, because it's really interesting. And if you know Star Wars, you know that Harrison Ford doesn't really like it, and he only came back to kill off Han Solo and make some money.
Well, even that, I think at that point you're acting like a damaged wife, as you should, and you're getting away from the movie, right? So again. I remember
the movie's not the problem though. It's the fucking people in it.
It is the problem.
All these people get all these people get in a huff.
The movie's the problem.
But the people get into a huff. They're like, "Oh my god, it's so great!" And then Disney responds with more of that shit. And I bet this is going to have not a huge drop off from Episode 7, but this will not make the Episode 7 numbers because that excitement is not coming back with this movie. That is not going to happen. Like Empire made less than A New Hope. I say, let's see, Force Awakens made $2 billion. I say this makes like 1.7. So it makes a chunk less. I don't see it making any more than Episode 7. Because all these franchises have a law of diminishing return. You need something huge to, like, okay, Captain America made more.
You mean her losing to her arch nemesis in the sequel? That didn't happen. Oh wait, it did happen in Empire. Never mind.
I don't think as many people as Dustin thinks are invested in the new characters. Like, I used my cousin as an example in that last video I made. My cousin doesn't really like Star Wars. She knows the movies. First thing she said to me at Christmas is, that Kylo Ren guy's a bitch. Well, she said he's bitch made. I was like, yes, he is. And then my other cousin, well, his kid, these are both my cousin's kids. They're like 20 and 20, so whatever. But he comes over, he's like, yeah, that guy wasn't even like, who am I supposed to be afraid of? Like, that guy's a bitch. Like, they both said it just out of the blue in like different conversations without me even leading them to that, discussion point. They just both said it. I think that's a pretty good sample. Well, not a good sample, but like, there's two generic people that went to see a movie that had a thought about it. I'm sure there are millions more that were like, he was kind of a bitch.
I just love the people that, like I said, because I think I originally gave it a 5 or whatever when I first watched Force Awakens. I just love well, dude, like, you don't know like who her parents are, bro. Like, you don't know who trained her.
Not
like,
important.
Her and Kylo Ren know each other, and it's like with no references to that in the movie, and you're assuming that it's a bad movie. Like, you can't just like make facts out of nothing. Like the Star Wars movie, like, okay, they give you pieces that you say, hey, this could happen, but it's like fucking what's her name and Kylo Ren don't recognize each other. No one fucking notices the old guy from Force Awakens, or they notice it, but no one mentions him. And it's like, well, I'm waiting on someone, and she has a flashback to a ship flying off in the sky. But Luke noticed her. He recognized her. No, he just fucking was like, hey, bitch, like, who are you?
What are you doing?
Hey, bitch!
What are you doing on my island, bitch? Why are you? What
the
are you
thing
pointing
is,
at
Dion, when you're talking about those elements, those have never been like hallmarks of Star Wars. It's not about like it's not a fucking mystery.
No, it isn't.
So I'm saying, like, but even then, no good movie does that. Like, there are parts in the movie, like, they tell the story and they give you things that make sense.
And there's going to be no huge revelation in this. Like, Empire Strikes Back. I can honestly say the Darth Vader, I'm your father twist, I didn't know that was coming because I rented. See, I had seen Star Wars like 20 times. I didn't even realize there was a second movie. Like, I just had a Lando Calrissian figure, and I didn't think about it. It's like, oh, a black guy in Star Wars. Maybe I missed it. And then I'd watch the movie, and I'd forget that he wasn't in the movie. But, like, there was, like, a build to Luke and this and that. Like, there's no build with her. Like, what's the revelation going to be? One of two things. Either, oh, you're my daughter. Who gives a fuck? Oh, I did this to protect you. That's not even like a big twist that no one can see coming. It's kind of like, well, there's like 2 things you could do, and that's one of them. Or she's like Anakin reincarnated or something dumb. The only twist, literally, the only twist they could pull out of their ass to surprise me would be if she turns evil and Kylo Ren kills her and becomes a Jedi or some dumb shit like that. That is the only thing they could do. There is nothing else.
That would
Frey, I am your brother's roommate's friend, twice removed cousin.
But the thing is, they haven't built anything. They can't justify a big twist like that. They haven't done anything to deserve it. You know, they're like, well, there's this or this or this that could happen, and there's nothing there. It's empty. It's an empty box. You're being sold a product at this point, and there's nothing in the box.
True.
Eventually, we'll put something in there for you.
Probably a dick. Probably a dick.
Like an old man penis too. It doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not excited about it. I mean, like, I wasn't really excited about Rogue One until I saw it, and it was fucking amazing. And I mean, I think Rogue One was an original idea from them, correct?
No, well, what do you mean an original idea?
It's something that they came up with, or was it part of the canon?
It's part of the canon.
Well,
it was
but none of the canon.
It wasn't like from an old book and they just translated that to screen. It was an original screenplay by a guy who worked on Star Wars before.
Okay, all right, yeah. That's what I thought. But like, that was good. That was an original idea. We need more of that, not more of the same bullshit that we've had for, I don't know, 30, 40 years now.
Well, Rogue One, what was nice about Rogue One is that it gave you the fan service, but it made sense. Because, X-Wings and TIE Fighters. Okay, great. We get to see the old X-Wings and TIE Fighters. That's nice. Why? Because this movie takes place minutes before the original Star Wars movie, where X-Wings and TIE Fighters were relevant. Cool. The Death Star. We didn't need Star Killer Base, Death Star 3. We just had a movie about the Death Star, and you got to see it again. Also,
you had the consoles and all the technology look like it was from A New Hope.
Yeah, to me, the people that made Rogue One gave a shit about Star Wars. The people that made Episode 7 gave a shit about the money. In no way does that feel, I want to say wholesome, but I don't know if that's the right word. It doesn't feel genuine.
There you go.
You know, when we always talk about like pushes for diversity and it feels disingenuous, Episode 7 feels disingenuous. It doesn't feel like it was made, like Dustin talked about it's calculated to get a response. Well, I could see through their bullshit. Like, it's not... It's like the movie They Live, and I'm Rowdy Roddy Piper wearing the sunglasses, you know? Like, I'm not going to start a fight with you guys to, like, beat you into submission to wear the sunglasses, but I'm going to hand you a pair, and if you decide to put them on, you know...
Wait,
you'll
hold
see the
on,
same
hold
shit.
on, hold on. Do you have gum?
No, but I'm here to kick ass.
There you go.
So. On the
The
internet.
thing is, though,
On the internet,
Jeff,
I'm here to
I
kick
see
ass.
through the bullshit too, and I still enjoy it. Like, I preface the whole thing with, I know it's a calculation. I know it's a this. But I still enjoy it. It doesn't mean that, like, I'm less enlightened. We're both wearing the glasses. It's just, I think it's more fun to like stuff.
I think it's fun to like stuff, too, but I don't think that... I like stuff that... Okay, here's my thing. If I want to watch speeders and walkers and people trained to be a Jedi and a big revelation at the end of the fucking movie, I'll watch Empire Strikes Back that's 37 years old. Like, the thing is, like, it's not fun to hate on shit. I enjoy stuff. I said I liked Fast and Furious 8. Was it a dumb movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't deep. It was fun, though. Like, when the fucking submarine busted out of the ice and Vin Diesel flew, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? But I laughed, and I enjoyed it. I can't enjoy this Star Wars shit because it's the same shit. It's lazy. It's not enjoyable to just to see a retread. Disney's the biggest company on the fucking planet. They literally could make any movie for any amount of money, but they choose to remake the same stuff. Why? To tug at your heartstrings to get you to buy some action figures. That's lazy filmmaking. You know? In the video that I made, I talked about the Marvel comparison. People are like, well, why are you comparing Marvel? Because it's the same company owns this shit. Marvel's not doing that. There are logical progressions with the Marvel movies. From Iron Man through whatever we're at, Doctor Strange. There is a logical progression through all those movies. Episode 7 ruined the logical progression of episodes 4 through 6. That's why I get pissed off. Because it's not like it's something new and different. That doesn't bother me. I'm all on board. Like, you can make a Star Wars movie that takes place 5,000 years in their future, where there's just one lightsaber and everything else is really weird. I could get into that. what I can't get into is the same shit. You know, I can't enjoy, like, seeing Han Solo ruined as a character. I can't enjoy another fucking Death Star, or ruining that Han Solo and Princess Leia got married and, like, the shit was, you know, they like changed the characters retroactively to fit a movie, then kill them off. It doesn't do any service to those characters. It's all done poorly to say, hey, Harrison Ford's back, come pay to see this movie. Like, it's all disingenuous. That's why I can't like it, and it's not about liking to hate shit. It's stupidity that I'm hating on for their movie. They don't bring anything new or fun or exciting. Like, there's nothing new and exciting. Like, midichlorians are retarded. They tried something new, it failed, and they never brought it up again. The clones were something new and kind of cool. What did Episode 7 bring new to the table? No, they brought you possibilities of something that might happen, but as a movie, as it stands, it doesn't bring anything. So why should I be pumped for Episode 8 when it's a direct continuation of the same vacuum of lack of ideas? Like, there's nothing there for me. It's a fucking empty playground. It's whoop-de-doo, like, and all the fucking rides are rusty, and I can get tetanus from touching them. Like, there's nothing for me to get pumped for. Nothing, because it's a continuation of something I hate. Like, okay, Spider-Man 3, you guys all hate that movie. Would you be excited for Spider-Man 4? Not really, because you didn't like Spider-Man 3. It was, to you, it was a shitty movie. And it's a shitty movie to me, too. I'm not going to defend it. My point is, like, it's a continuation of crap, so why get excited for crap?
Well, and the other thing, obviously, and holy shit, I agree with Jeff, right? That's fucking nuts. But my issue, right? Star Wars is special, not because I love it, but because it's a fantastic story. Obviously, brought something to the table. What the fuck ever? Changed movies. Who the fuck does that, right? But especially A New Hope. You know, Luke. All the originals. These characters went through things. They earned things. Luke Skywalker got caught up. He got caught up in this adventure, and he's, you know, and he meets this cool dude, and he falls in love with this one chick originally, and they fucking happen to save a lot of motherfuckers, and they go on to one becomes a Jedi, one, you know, falls in love with a chick when he's a scoundrel and all this other bullshit, and the chick learns to trust people, right? They live, they fail, they win, all this shit. The Force Awakens rolls around. There's no reason for me to care about this character. She's thrust into this bullshit because she's important. We're telling you she's important. Believe it. And then she can fly a ship with nothing. She admits she has no reason for knowing how to do anything. There's, oh, well, trust the Force, trust the Force. She beats someone the first time she ever fights someone like that who is definitely better than she is. They proved it when the dude can stop a fucking blaster bolt in mid-fire, and she just beats him for no reason. And then it's like, oh,
he did get shot in the stomach with Chewbacca's bolt blaster that sends regular people flipping. And just murders his dad, so his mind's not in a good spot right then. But yeah.
So, but he still loses to someone who picked up a lightsaber 12 hours earlier.
Yeah, 12 hours earlier. Yeah.
And another thing, hold on.
So that's a very good point, right? He got shot. He's wounded. He still kills his dad. The planet's fucking breaking. The Starkiller base is breaking up. He's fighting a noob. And he has her. She closes her eyes. And she beats him. Why am I
how does she learn the fucking...
in the net? We already know that he has more training than she did. And I went into this last time. He already is better than her. They're both starting from another point for the next movie. What is her losing, or whatever happens... How is that believable? We already know that she's better than he is. With no training. Now she has training. What's going to happen?
And it belittles the other characters' evolution. So it belittles Luke Skywalker. He goes on this arc to be this great Jedi.
He lost in the second movie.
And here's the thing. We know in the first Star Wars movie that Luke can pilot a ship. Like 5 people say it, and then he pilots a ship. He didn't fight Darth Vader. Darth Vader would have killed him on the Death Star if Luke goes, oh, I'm going to fight you. He wasn't going to all of a sudden fucking fend off Darth Vader. Darth Vader played with him in Empire Strikes Back. You know, the hero was up against some insurmountable odds, and they overcame it through time, and you were on this journey with them, and you were excited. This woman doesn't have any journey to go through. What is she training to do? Nothing. In the first Star Wars movie, within the first 30 minutes, you know that Luke was going to train to be a Jedi to avenge his fallen father, who at the time was not Darth Vader. Okay? We had a clear journey for Luke. He wanted to get off Tatooine, he wanted to see the stars, he wanted adventure and his destiny and all that stuff. And we also saw Obi-Wan's final journey, and without stupid flashbacks and dumb exposition to a point where it seems, pointless, like, we learned that Obi-Wan had a history with Vader. Vader was whatever. He's now a machine. Like, that movie is, like, worked out perfectly. This one, it's like, well,
believe this because
there's some stuff.
Believe this because we told you.
There's some stuff that you're going to need to know. We don't know it, but just know that this lack of sense right here will be eventually fixed. Maybe. Kinda. Sort of. By the toy.
Yeah, and I fucking hate that there's like all this mystery around it. Just tell us what we need to know. Just tell us what the fuck we need to know. Quit jiggling our balls. Just tell us, goddammit.
Like I said earlier, Star Wars has never been about a mystery franchise. Go back and watch the Episode 1 trailer, the big one that came out that people used to pay to see in theaters. It shows you a lightsaber duel and this and that, and you knew, without knowing the plot of the film, you knew what you were going to see, and it was exciting, and you were like, oh shit, this movie's going to be awesome. And it sucked. Like, I'm not going to defend it. Still better than Episode 7, but it was marketed in a way where you were like fucking pumped. And then Episode 2, you were like, Episode 1 wasn't good, but the trailer was kind of cool, so maybe I'll check it out. And then you're like, But then you had to see the third one because it's how he becomes Darth Vader. So they strung you along for 2 movies to see the one thing you wanted. For me, what are they stringing me along to see? In the original trilogy, it was, I want to see the adventures of Luke, and I want to see him become a Jedi. I want to see how Vader falls. What is this girl training to do? Like, Snoke? Who's Snoke? Who cares? He's a fucking hologram. Whoop-de shit. I don't care if it's Darth Plagueis. Do most people know what Darth Plagueis is?
Nope.
No. They're not going to go read about it. They're not going to give a shit. It's like, they're targeting the wrong people for this and the wrong people for that.
That's a perfect example. So, Snoke, right? So, he's a player because they showed him and they said he was. He's a major player, right? Darth Vader, A New Hope. He was a Jedi. He was my pupil. He turned to the dark side. He killed the fucking Jedi. It was quick. It was, you knew why he's in the movie. Why Obi-Wan is hiding on Tatooine. You knew that. My master Snoke. We can't have Skywalker come back, and he broke me, Dad. That's it. That's all we got about Snoke. But he's important because we showed him. He's big. He's in shadow, and his face is scarred. He's important.
And we don't even. Okay, so the fucking Empire was defeated, but the New Order's just there. We don't learn anything about, like,
we've been building this base for a long time. Attack. Do it. Just fucking.
They don't even say anything like, the remnants. In the crawl, I don't know what it says because I've seen the movie one time. I'll never watch it again. So you guys can fill me in on what I missed, even though I didn't think I missed it. But like, they don't explain what they are. They're just there. It doesn't serve the story, which is my biggest problem. It's to evoke the Empire versus the Rebel Alliance, TIE Fighters versus X-Wings versus Death Stars. There's even a fucking trench run. Like, what? How am I liked it once. I don't really want it again, and it was done so much better. It was done with power and emotion and better music. And one thing that the Star Wars movies have gotten progressively worse with is that the original film, there's one climax. It builds towards the Battle of the Death Star. Then in Empire, there's 2. There's the Vader, Luke, and them escaping Cloud City. Then there's 3 in Jedi. Battle of Endor on the ground, in space, and Luke's battle with the Emperor and Vader. In episode 1, you got like 5 of those. And then in this one, you had a bunch too. And it's like, it's such a hyperactive mentality of jumping from one thing to the next that you can't enjoy anything. Like, I can't get invested in any of these characters because they're barely characters. Like Han Solo, you knew who he was. His whole character arc was completed by the end of episode 4. It's like, hey, I came back. I knew it was worth more to you than money, blah, blah, blah. All that shit. Nobody had a character arc in episode 7.
Nope.
Why am I supposed to believe they have one in episode 8? Like, Rey just appears and has these powers. Oh my god, she put on an X-Wing helmet, how cute. Oh my god, she slid down a sand dune, how cute. That's not a character development or character arc.
Bro,
it's just
she
like
closed her eyes and she realized the Force and she beat Kylo Ren. Duh.
That's not even the part that pisses me off. The fucking Jedi mind trick is the one that pissed me off.
Oh,
Like,
God, yeah.
here's the thing.
Oh, fuck, man.
The audience, the audience knows what the Jedi mind trick is. We know how.
Oh no! Look, everyone in the fucking theater when I finally went and watched it with a buddy from work, everyone besides him, everyone was like, literally everyone groaned, and a lot of people went, "Oh, come on!"
No, but the thing is,
I'm not even making that shit up.
But I'm making a point, Dion. My point is, the audience could know something. The character should not know. Like, she should not know what the Jedi mind trick is. She should not know, unless they're going to effectively make better hints that she's a Jedi, like, previously, which they don't. They just are like, oh, you're here. So, you can't go, oh, maybe in 2 years they'll tell me. No. I paid $15 or $20 to see this. I need to know now. That's you know, you didn't give me a full product. And it's not like you watch the original Star Wars and go, oh, there's a big twist with Darth Vader, but we'll tell you next time. No, it just comes out of nowhere. You're like, oh, shit. And then it makes sense logically. And then they kind of fucked up in Return of the Jedi with the whole your sister's Leia thing, but whatever. Long story short, I thought the Episode 8 trailer... Here's the thing I don't like, too. You talked about the music, Dustin. They use the same... It's just the Force theme played slowly. It's the same shit. It's too calculated to enjoy. It's like... So, for the Episode 9 teaser, it's going to be... Blackness, the first notes of the Force theme, and then crash shot to whatever, and somebody appears on screen. It's like, okay, and then it's going to be a few vague scenes of action, and then that's it. We'll see some slow motion Captain Phasma or Stormtroopers or something. It's like, even the trailers are similar. Like, come on, where's the originality? You guys have a limitless amount of money, like literally. No one has the amount of money Disney has.
Well, like Dustin said, it's calculated. Like, and also it's Disney. They have a fucking formula for all this bullshit. I mean, that's just how they are. They know they know the formula. They've been playing it for years. They're just going to keep using it until it dies.
I don't think they've been playing it that long, though. Like, Disney, like modern... Okay, 90s Disney wasn't like this. Even, like, early 2000s Disney. This is like a... I don't want to say a new thing, because it's clearly not new. Let's say, like, in the last 10 years, Disney got like that. Like, end of Pirates of the Caribbean, they became this Disney. I don't like it. You know? And it's a great... If I want to make money, that's awesome, but I'm a moviegoer. I don't care if a movie makes $1 or $1 trillion. That doesn't roll down to me. It maybe gives you a sequel. I'd rather have one excellent film than
No, I'm 100% with that fucking statement. I'd rather have one goddamn amazing movie than 18 shitty ones.
Like, there could be one Back to the Future. It's still going to be my favorite movie.
Of course, 100%.
You know, my interest in that franchise does not depend upon it being a franchise. Like Fletch, I love Fletch. Beverly Hills Cop could be one movie. I'm still going to love it the way I love it. I want, as a film goer, I want something that is a whole experience for me. That I go in, I pay my money for, I sit, I watch it, and I leave.
Make sense,
happy.
man. That's all I'm saying. Make the movie.
That too.
All that other bullshit, and I don't mean like literally it's bullshit. That's a good reason for liking a movie. I agree with you, bro. But when you make a movie, you make it to tell a story. If you make all that other shit falls into place. Beverly Hills Cop is a great fucking movie. A beginning, a middle, and an end. He meets his friend, they reunite, his friend gets killed, he gets revenge, and he makes new friends along the way. End of movie. Motherfucking Fletch. He's working on something else, something crazy fucking happens, he gets dwelled into it, he figures it out, he fucking, you know, he finishes this original story that he was working on in the beginning of the fucking movie. You know, every other great movie that we talk about in this show over and over, it's a fucking beginning, a middle, and an end in the singular movie. Even if you want to talk about The Empire Strikes Back, you know, they mentioned the Jedi's thing is early in the movie. He's still with the rebellion. He goes on to be a Jedi. He leaves early to save his friends. His fucking teacher told him not to do it. He leaves. He goes, does what the teacher told him not to do, and he loses. There's an arc. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Fucking these Star Wars movies, you know, and you don't have to agree with me, listeners. That's fine. But J.J. Abrams ain't doing the motherfucking movie anymore, and Luke Skywalker said, hey, the dude dropped the fucking ball. There's a random character who does random shit, and then, hey, the sequel's going to happen, watch it. It's not a good movie. It's not a fucking good movie. Movies that we said on earlier. You know,
There's two problems with this though, Dion. The people that are getting to make this movie are such big fans of Star Wars that they're trying to pay homage to this and do that. Like, it'd be nice if they got a director. No, they are, but it's poorly done. It'd be nice if they got a director that was like a great director that goes, no. Right. I'll try it myself. It's different from
paying homage to fucking blatantly copying a movie. There's two different things.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Here's an example, real quick, Nick. Back to the Future. There are beats in each movie that are similar. Like, Marty gets back to the new time period. He goes to the Hill Valley Town Center. He almost dies. Something happens. But that works because it's a time travel movie, and the theme is like history repeats itself. Yeah. That works in that case. Star Wars is not a time travel film. It is a straight up fantasy action space movie that is on a linear path, and it doesn't really. It damages itself by being the same thing over and over.
Oh, entirely. Because, if you're just rehashing the original 3 movies, you're not doing any good. You're not doing the fans any good. You're not doing yourself any good because you didn't look like an asshole. Because you have no fucking idea. You're out of ideas, and it's just bad all around.
And with Episode 8, I mean, am I going to hate it as much as I hated Episode 7? I don't know. I got to watch the movie. But I'm not going to all of a sudden expect to think this is going to be like the next greatest thing ever, because even within the trailer, like, I talked about the sunglasses earlier, this is blatantly similar to Empire Strikes Back. I mean, unless this is like the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie and the next part takes place on an asteroid and they wear space helmets or something crazy. Like, the thing is, you can break, the Star Wars stories are very simple. They're not, like, they have elements that are complex, but they're not, overly to the point where, okay, they're supposed to be based on myth. And that's why the first one to me is so important, because it's basically all the elements of great myth and the adventure story boiled down and condensed into something and then given a new coat of paint that works. There's a difference between, like, taking from, I'm inspired by Beowulf and this and Flash Gordon and that, and then you blend them together and you got Star Wars. Great, but then when you do it again 35 years later, it's literally the same thing. And I don't know. I mean, I want to be, I like stuff. I get excited about movies.
But again, it's not about liking stuff. It's about making a movie that makes sense. I can't harp on this enough. And again, I love Star Wars, right? And the three of us specifically have had these conversations multiple fucking times. But again, especially the originals, were complete. They didn't leave all this bullshit. They didn't when they left a cliffhanger at the end of Episode 5 at Empire Strikes Back. You knew okay, Luke's father is Darth Vader, and we gotta go get Han Solo. There wasn't this like random hanger of, well, who has Han Solo? Where have they gone? They mentioned in the beginning of the movie, fucking Jabba the Hutt has left a giant fucking bounty on my head, and we ran into a fucking bounty hunter on Ord Mantell. Like, the seed is planted. This is gonna fucking come back on Han Solo. So when he gets got by a bounty hunter who is saying he ain't good to me, fucking, like, we know who it is and where he's gone, without this up in the air hole in the story of where the fuck is Han Solo. The cliffhanger was genuine. It was naturally grown throughout the movie. With this bullshit of, well, who's her dad? Where's she from? Who was in the ship that she left? Who left her as a kid? Does she know They couldn't even let us know. Does she know the old dude who was killed in the beginning of the fucking movie? It's not. Nothing is complete, and that's what drives me crazy. And even though, hey, give the new trailer a 5. My whole thing, obviously, like I said, it's a lot like the original one where it doesn't tell you anything. But when the movie comes out, like, what? How are they going to answer all those questions from the first one? I guarantee you, they won't even fucking give you an answer if she knows the old dude from the beginning of The Force Awakens. They literally can't answer all the questions from the previous movie. And that's what pisses me off. Like, they did this on purpose, because J.J. Abrams, fucking the dude who gave us a TV show that no one knows what the fuck happened there either, There are too many fucking questions. So are we gonna have to get half of the questions in 8, or we gonna get more fucking questions in 8? Then we gotta wait for fucking 9. Like what? That's not how you make a good movie. That's not how. You can't have questions for the sake of having questions. That's just you throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. And that's what my problem is with this franchise right now. And even though, again, I'm kind of excited for what's going on with 5, there are just too many questions for me to have to wait.
Did you just call it episode 5?
Or fuck. Yeah, there you go right there. Like that. Jesus, like it's clearly episode, and there are just too many episodes. Too many questions, too many, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. And you know that they can do it because Rogue Squadron didn't make all these random fucking questions to characters. Like, hey, this dude is in the movie. He's been fucking fighting this since he was 16 years old. They don't fucking have his random, maybe that's his mom, in the fucking movie. Oh, well, where's her dad? There's her dad. He's fucking there. She found him. They saw each other. He got shot. He's fucking dead.
I'll tell you this. For me, if Rogue One would have been the one they started out with, I would have been like, wow, Disney Star Wars movies are fucking great. Because I like that movie. I like it less than when I first saw it. I'm not going to act like it's the greatest thing ever.
It is
I'm going to rank
sweet,
all the Star Wars movies. Oh, it's a good movie. I'm going to rank it number 4 of all the Star Wars movies. Original trilogy, then that, then prequels, then 7 and 8. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a well-made film, and it's
a complete story. It's a complete story.
But if you want to bring back all the old elements that get people excited and they feel like, oh my god, I'm a kid again, even though whatever, like those old guys I talked to on the internet, on Facebook about Star Wars.
Brian Leap.
What?
Brian Leap.
He hates all the new Star Wars movies. We don't have those discussions.
Oh, you said old guys, so I assumed him.
Oh, he is like 50, but he's a good guy.
He's cool.
Dude, but I'm on some of these Star Wars groups on Facebook. That's where I found the trailer right away. Some of these guys are fucking obsessive. Like, they're paying $100 for this Luke Skywalker figure that just came out, and the only difference is from the old one that came out is a different box.
Oh,
that's retarded.
That's dumb.
Is that the 40th anniversary Kenner black 6-inch line?
Yeah, just that. At the celebration last week, they had a Luke and an X-wing pilot costume.
Mm-hmm. But that was on the old
thing
Kenner
is that
packaging, right?
Yeah, but that exact figure came out 3 years ago in the original Black Series line, and I got it. Like, it's actually on my shelf right now. You could have bought it years ago, but now you got to have it in another box, and you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on a fucking piece of cardboard. Like, we have great technology. Go make your own.
But you shouldn't. I can't harp on that point. You shouldn't have to. Like, it's just. I just hate what Disney's doing. I hate what these movies are doing. Like I said, I'm obviously gonna go watch it. I ain't gonna fucking lie. I'm gonna go watch the goddamn movie. But I just refuse to sit there and be surprised at shit that I know that's happening already. Like, I love to love it. It's Star Wars, but we know she's gonna go in there and she's gonna win. And even if she loses, they did that already. Like, what addition is gonna be in this movie that's different from before?
And here's a bigger question: what about Episode 9? Like, what overarching story are we looking forward to?
Are we gonna find out who her parents are? And then her fucking parents, Snoke's her dad. Boom, done. Like, what the fuck?
But why is that even relevant? Like, people are like, "Oh, the big twist: Snoke was her father." So what? She's not fucking fighting Snoke. She's fighting Kylo Ren. Like, Luke was after Vader to get him because, you killed my father, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, I am your father. What? Right. Holy shit, twist. Oh my god, didn't see that coming. Game-breaking glitch. And then, you just... Look, I know people didn't like my last video. Don't care. Like I said, 10,000 people watched it really quick. It reached an audience. I think I needed to take that angle to reach as many people as I did, and it brought us, 20 new listeners, so I'm happy about that. But being honest, the trailer was just kind of whatever and kind of lame, and I'm worried about Star Wars, if we go back 10 years, like when I first met you guys back in college, it was a good time to be a Star Wars fan. The movies had ended, the Clone Wars was right about to come out, you had all kinds of great expanded universe stuff, you had great merchandise. Like, Star Wars never really went away post the 90s. Like, I know people go, oh, Star Wars has been around since the 70s. Well, to the uninformed, Star Wars did die out in 1985. You know, it hasn't lasted for 40 years.
Yeah, the books didn't even come back out to 91.
Yeah, there was a gap between 85 and 91 where there was maybe the Droids cartoon still on, but that was about it. Star Wars did die out. All the actors went on to do other things. George Lucas went on to do other things. And the world was fine because there was so much other shit out there. You know, in 85 you had Back to the Future, you had the Terminator the year before, you had all these great movies, these cultural events take place in the 80s. Like, I think Star Wars came out at the perfect time because it was a little later. I think it would have got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, it would have.
Because some of the stuff I'm talking about wasn't really influenced as much by Star Wars as people would like to say. Like, Back to the Future would still be Back to the Future, minus the one joke. You know?
Yeah.
You would still have your great comedies. You'd still have your Ghostbusters. You'd still have all this shit. And Star Wars would come out and be like, well, that's cool, but there's all this other shit. Star Wars came out in a time where there was it was a fucking wasteland of just mediocrity and like Oscar bait movies, and then that comes out and changes everything. That's why I'm also kind of down on these new Star Wars movies because they're not going to stick around. You know, it's cool.
That's the fucking thing too, man. Like, it'd be different if they did new Star Wars on, you know, the original Jedi, you know, fucking thousands of years in the past, like that would you'd have a whole new world open to you, right? But they specifically chose after 6, so you know that you chose after 6, so you have to there's no middle ground where it's like, oh well, it can be okay. No, you have to deliver on that. You specifically chose, all right, well, we're gonna bank on nostalgia, we're gonna try and continue the story after Return of the Jedi, and you automatically pinned yourself into a corner where you can't just cherry pick shit. It has to line up with 6 other movies. But again, you came up with this fucking bullshit that it's like the fact that Star Wars fans got to argue whether 7 makes sense, whether it's good, whether it's not. That's fucking bullshit. That shouldn't be. None of us are going to argue about the original trilogy. Even though, you know, even with the prequels, like, none of us are going to argue that it at least led up to, it was about him becoming Vader and the Empire going into power. But with these ones, like, is it good? Is it not? She's a good character. She's not, like, it's not gonna last just because
and even Force Awakens is pretty much an empty movie. Yeah, it's about nostalgia and bringing that back. That's all it is. It's fucking empty, and as you said before, there are more questions than answers. So it's just really, really empty. It's idiotic, and I fucking hate it. And I mean, it's probably gonna be none until we get answers about anything.
The thing is, though, when I was talking about these movies sticking around, 5 years after this Episode 9 releases, you'll have all your Star Wars movies, but you're not going to have people going on and on about this trilogy. Like,
no.
They'll say it's better than the prequels because they've been conditioned to hate the prequels, and they're not bad levels like The Room and Samurai Cop. I mean, they do have stupid elements, but there's like a gem, or I guess you say a germ of like ingenuity in there. You know, when you watched Episode 1, you had never seen a 2-on-1 lightsaber duel, a double-sided lightsaber, a pod race, shit like that. But then you had the bad with Jar Jar Binks, the script was too long. Who gives a shit about tariffs and the Senate and trade federations? Come on, George. Like, you kind of fucked that up yourself. Episode 2, you had Hayden Christensen, ruined the whole fucking movie. He's shitty. Like, I don't care how they say he's trying to play it. Get a more experienced actor. I don't care that George Lucas's daughters found him cute. Like, you know, throw the money down. Get Leonardo DiCaprio. Make this honest.
That's the only one I'm going to be like. I didn't
listen.
Listen. Hayden Christensen was not my problem with those movies. I didn't think he did a bad job at all. I think
in 2 he did. He rolls around in 3 slightly better.
Right. Which.
But in 2 he's horseshit, dude. You know it. Don't even try to defend Episode 2. Like,
that's
he was good enough.
Christensen, that's not specifically because of him. You know.
He's the biggest problem with that when they took Jar Jar out there and replaced it with a real idiot.
You literally the fucking who else could deliver the fucking lines about sand? Like no one could live that bullshit. Not to mention, that fucking awkward as fuck scene between him and her in front of the fire. You could have fucking Leonardo DiCaprio in that shit. You could pay him all the money that you have in your little Ewok bank. He couldn't be like,
how do you know about my
secret?
Ewok bank?
He can't say that shit, and you'd be like, you know what, Leo? You guys
knows it too well.
Fuck that.
Dion, I sat through Titanic a couple times. Leonardo DiCaprio could have pulled that shit off. Okay, bro?
See now, you are letting the hatred take over right now, and I can't.
There's no hatred. I'm just being honest. If I look, I'm just saying, episode 2, what was okay? Ewan McGregor's excellent in all those movies. Okay,
Yes.
Ewan McGregor and the Emperor, and I guess Liam Neeson to a lesser degree, all did a great job. Natalie Portman sucks in those movies. The thing is, those people don't even want to be in those movies because they know how shitty it is. Okay. But at least,
But again, that speaks to the writing. That's not the actors. My whole thing is this. Hayden Christensen, he became Darth Vader because he was immature. That's why I don't have a problem. He is whiny and kind of annoying. That's who I would pick that character to become Darth Vader because he's annoying, because he's whiny.
He ruined, but to a degree, but I think you could have had better execution and you could have done it.
I don't think so, man. I think the problem with the prequels was the script, was the fucking dialogue. You could have had a young John Hurt playing Anakin Skywalker, still would have sucked.
And the constant
but
change,
Dion, if you would have had those
between all three of them, they had a set thing in part 1, and that's the midichlorians, and then they never mentioned it again in part 2. And part 2 was supposed to be about the clones and the clone army and the old Jedi who had siphoned Diaz. And he's supposed to be in part 3, but that never happened. And then they wrote a brand new one for part 3. So they messed up they kind of messed up all 3 times to make the movies. But honestly, after watching part 7, I have a new appreciation for the prequels. I would rather.
That's the first thing I said.
I'd rather watch those again on VHS than to watch fucking.
See, 1 is still the worst one for me. Even though obviously. You and Cuckin know how I feel about 1. It's the lightsaber battle on, but 1 is still the worst one for me because that one is just
2 is so dry.
It is, but there's at least the build up to the Clone Wars. You know what I mean? So there's at least
Dion, what build up to the Clone Wars? Literally in the middle of the movie, they go, Clone Army, Cypher Diaz, who? Oh my God, we're gonna fight a battle instantly, and all of a sudden the Jedi's are fucking soldiers. Out of the blue, they become soldiers. That to me, that is just as big of a fucking logic leap as Rey kicking Kylo Ren's ass. What? We're supposed to be the defenders of peace. We sit around and we think and we do shit and we go out on missions. We're not fucking leading a military all of a sudden. What?
But they establish the Jedi are capable because they say that they wipe out the Sith.
We know that the Jedi are capable, but all of a sudden it's I'm capable to fucking run a car wash. I'm not going to give up my dream and then go run a car wash. I have those capabilities, but that's not what I would do.
And you're not wrong. All I'm saying is...
are you agreeing with me when you're disagreeing with me?
My point before I agree with you. All I'm saying is, it's easier to digest that hey, these are the Jedi. We are here on the capitals, in the capital of the fucking universe. We wiped out the Sith before. We know the rules of the Sith. We know that there are only 2 of them. We kill all of them. They're supposed to be extinct because we killed the motherfuckers. It's not that crazy of a leap that those dudes can take over an army built from a bounty hunter. That's more easier to digest than I was on this planet 2 days ago. I found this black dude, and we got to a ship, and I flew it, even though I clearly state that I don't know how I'm flying this ship, and I don't know how to fix it. And here's this lightsaber that's not mine or has any connection to me that you know of, and then I beat this dude who clearly is more trained than me. I can digest episode 2 way fucking easier than I can episode 7.
Overall, I'm with you there. I just meant that one logic leap, and I'm still going to put episode 1 above episode 2. Here's the thing: you can actually cut out episodes 1 and 2 completely and rewrite them with anything else, and just mention that they have a clone army. That's it. You only have to mention to the prequel trilogy. You can wipe out episodes 1 and 2. You can say that there's a Jedi named Anakin. He's training with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and there's Yoda. And then you say there's a clone army that they're fighting this. Every other plot point could be wiped out of those two movies.
You know that we talked about this before too. I mean, when we had that original episode, you know, the multiple years ago that we've been on fucking YouTube. Thank you, we're a podcast. Go fuck yourselves. But when the original script was supposed to be, and they fucking described it as Lethal Weapon in space. Like it was supposed to be like Anakin and Obi-Wan, and it was just gonna, you know, episode 2 was supposed to be just like literally Lethal Weapon in space. Like that shit. I can't forgive George Lucas for that shit. Like I don't, you know, episode 7. Whatever, but George, like, I appreciate you more now with The Force Awakens, but I can't forgive you for letting that shit go.
Look, at least George Lucas treated Star Wars like his baby that he sold into slavery, which he admitted himself. but there was a level. No. There was a level of like.
So are you saying George Lucas is the Thomas Jefferson?
No. George Lucas sold it into white slavery. White slavery is what he said. White slavery.
But yeah, he did say white slavery, and yes, Dion, I'm calling him Thomas Jefferson because he's banging a black chick. Just saying. Honestly, that's a bigger surprise to me than almost anything I've ever experienced in life. George Lucas married to a black woman. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, but George Lucas doesn't seem like that type of guy. I'm like, okay, George. Like, it's funny. Post Star Wars, everything he's doing makes me like him more. It's like, God damn, George Lucas. You give away billions of dollars to college? Awesome. You fuck a black chick? You're married to her? Awesome. You did this? Awesome. You helped invest in Pixar? Awesome. Like, way to go, George Lucas. Thumbs up all the way.
And then, so Star Wars to Disney.
Yeah. I wish he would just get pissed off one day and just tell us why he sold it. Like what they did to him. Like, how did Kathleen Kennedy convince him
what pictures do they have on him to blackmail him into doing that? Like who did he fuck? Or who fucked him? And they have pictures of it. Like, where are they? What's going on?
Harrison probably pulled the old Woody Allen on his adopted kids.
What's her name? Mia Farrow?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Because you know Disney had some dirt on him for them to have that shit. Because they got Marvel, they're like, oh, we need Star Wars now. So
Disney's just too powerful.
I agree.
One day they'll make a really shitty movie. Oh, they already have John Carter of Mars.
$250 million they lost.
Ooh.
Yeah. They'll never lose that kind of money on a Star Wars movie, but I know from talking to people those people's excitement. I'm not saying everyone's, but there are clusters of people who lost excitement over the continuation of where we're going. And you know, like I said, I'll put down money, Dion, a whole $20 in the next 15 years. Hold me to this. 4/20 of 2017, so 4/20 of 2037 if we're all alive. I'll give you $20 if I'm wrong. I'm going to say that this run of new Star Wars trilogies, or this trilogy, will not be as well regarded or remembered as the original, and those characters will not become a part of popular culture the way that the original Star Wars characters have. For multiple reasons. Lack of charisma, interesting character developments, a cool factor.
Yeah. Like,
Finn is not a cool character. He's a fucking bumbling idiot. He's a butler in space. He's like C-3PO. Poe Dameron is a cardboard cutout, okay? True. He's a brown guy. They put him in the fucking movie, okay? Rey is an agenda that will not be relevant in 5 years. So people are going to look back on anything that's politically charged and relevant to, like, feminism or whatever culturally is popular. People are going to look back and go, oh, we were a lot dumber 5 years ago. I'm glad we're not there anymore. So that's another reason why this movie is not, or that movie per se, is not going to be as big as the first Star Wars movie. So I'm just like saying, $20 now, in 20 years, not going to be a big deal. But you won't see a fucking Finn or Poe Dameron or a Rey action figure lining the shelves, but you'll still see Han Solo and Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia.
Ooh.
Throwing that out there.
I'll take it.
So that was our discussion on the Star Wars Episode 8 trailer. It's weird to be like, oh my god, another Star Wars movie that You know they're not going to do the fucking stupid Force theme for the Han Solo trailer.
But what is your
can't.
take on the Han Solo movie? Like, what do you guys think about that?
If it's the whole, if his name is not Han Solo and he's like somebody else, here's the thing: it's like they're trying to fuck him from both ends. Okay. They took George Lucas's favorite character and they fucked him up. At the end of Return of the Jedi, he was like, hey, you know, I'm no longer a scoundrel. I've kind of come along for this ride, and I'm now a better person, and he's going to settle in with a life with Leia. And then if you read the books or the comics and shit, you see what kind of character he is. He's still a fun guy, but he's not a smuggler anymore. He's still a scoundrel, but he's, you know, a one-woman scoundrel, and he kind of grew as a character. And he became old, and a dad, and all this shit, and all the characters grew. And so they say, oh, you ran away, and you're a bitch in episode 7. Okay, so they fucked his whole character development up. It's nothing. So now they're trying to go back to the beginning of his life and make it stupid. It's like too many cooks, man. There's just so many things they're doing that aren't needed. It's money for the sake of money. It's not, hey, I got a great idea that'll make a bunch of money. It's, hey, we want money. People will buy Han Solo.
See, all I ever wanted from, like, I was kind of excited about the idea of like a prequel Han Solo movie. That's fine, but all I wanted was like Han Solo, Chewie, buddy cop movie. That's all I want. That's all I want. Just give me that for 90 minutes. I'll be fucking happy.
You know we're gonna get that, but you're gonna have Lando involved because you need a black character, and then you have Woody Harrelson because he needs a mentor all of a sudden. Why does he need a mentor?
I assume he needs a mentor.
Han Solo is supposed to be the dude in the room that knows what he's doing. Barely, but he does.
He'll act like he knows what he's doing, but he really doesn't. But still gets the job done, and everybody's happy. So, but yeah, I agree with that. I assume Woody Harrelson's going to be like the guy who got him into smuggling, or who's going to be his smuggling mentor, or you know, whatever that whole thing is. Which I mean is dumb. I just wanted to start where he's just smuggling him and Chewie on a mission, kind of like Spaceballs, but not as funny.
Or as good.
It's true.
See, look, Spaceballs is great. It's the best Star Wars movie that's not a Star Wars.
Yeah, but like
movie, okay?
I want buddy cop levels of comedy though. Like that's what I want. I want that thing in space.
Because Han Solo has always been a funny character, not like, you know, Star-Lord inept funny, but you know, like when he's on the fucking Falcon, he's like, "It's not my fault."
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
And she's like, any more tricks or whatever she says to Han as they're trying to take off for light speed, or you know, I don't have time to discuss this with committee. I'm not a committee. Like
she
there
says
comedic
no
elements.
light speed.
Yeah, it's not my fault. I even love the part where Lando goes, "They told me they fixed it," and then he like freaks out, and Chewbacca's like, "Rah!" Like there are moments in Star Wars that are like funny. But then to jump back to Episode 7, when you have Poe Dameron, do I talk to you talk? That's weird. That doesn't fit. We don't know that character enough to like. He hasn't earned that. You know, it's just like the movie hasn't earned it. We don't know the tone of this movie, and it's so disjointed. It wants
well,
to be
see that one again. I give that part a pass. That's the very beginning of the movie, right? So at least that one, especially now, looking back, you say, okay, yeah, that was there for the tone. And again, you're not wrong. But at that point, first seeing it, the setup was at least where it's like, okay, I'm interested in this character. Obviously, he fucking disappears for the whole movie. Then we randomly see him, and the black guy goes, oh, that's some crazy-ass flying dog. And then, oh, it happens to be Poe, and they're friends still, I guess. You know, but at the time...
I hate their friendship.
At the time, I was like, okay, I like this dude. So that one I gave a pass.
But that's all I want. I want young Han Solo, young Chewbacca, buddy comedy movie. That's all I want. That's all I want.
And before Rogue One came out, I was like, listen, you know, fuck this. This is bullshit. I don't need to know about Han Solo. I know what I know about the motherfucker already, and he's cool. Don't fuck with it. But then Rogue One came out, and I was like, oh shit. Anthology movies, they might know what the fuck they're doing. So I'll admit, I'm excited. Because it's Star Wars and fuck me in the ass, right? Thanks, Disney. But
I'll be honest, if we didn't have this podcast and most of the people that watch our show didn't gravitate towards the Star Wars videos, I probably wouldn't see some of these movies because I really don't care. I'm not trying to be funny or ironic. Like, the love is gone. It's like a shitty marriage, you know. Like, I'm going to see this movie for the kids, and you guys are the kids, you know.
Thanks, Dad.
Dad's ready to fucking leave, you know.
Dad brought in a flask and bought a giant thing of popcorn and doesn't care about life anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna drown it in salt and have my heart stop. No, sorry, that was a little dark. Deal with you though, dude. Like Rogue One, there's hope. There's hope. I just don't. What I don't want to see though in the Han Solo standalone movie is like, oh my god, a new evolution of a stormtrooper from the clone trooper and this and that. It just could we see a movie that doesn't feel manufactured? Like they do exist. There are movies that don't feel like Ghost in the Shell didn't feel overly manufactured. It felt like it was a story. It had some things to say about humanity. It wasn't heavy-handed, and it was. I left the theater going, I enjoyed that. I want to watch the anime. I did watch the anime. I didn't like it.
Because it's anime.
The point is, though, yeah, it's a fucking anime, according to you. Every other Star Wars movie did not feel like a fucking commercial, like a product.
I know, and again, that's what makes me so mad. Rogue One didn't feel that way either. It felt legitimate. They didn't make it to make a sequel to it, and as long as they make this Han Solo movie without the idea that we have to have a sequel to it, I think it'll be good. You know, that's how A New Hope was. They didn't know that the movie was they were gonna make a sequel to that shit, so they made a complete fucking movie, and it worked. Like when you make a movie with that idea, boom.
I don't think it would hurt to have like more complete stories. Like the first Spider-Man movie was not made. The first two Spider-Man movies were not made as like cliffhangers to the next sequel. You can watch Spider-Man 1, never see another one, and you get the whole experience. You could watch Spider-Man 2, have never seen the first or the third one, and it's a full experience. They tell you how he became Spider-Man in the credits, blah blah blah, end of the movie, full story. Even Empire Strikes Back can be watched as a standalone film. Mm-hmm. It has an open end, but it starts normally. It doesn't, like, to watch The Empire Strikes Back, you could watch that as the first Star Wars movie, and you could understand that Luke is on his way to become a Jedi. Yeah, you may not know everything about a Jedi, about how the universe combines and the Force and penetrates us and all that shit. You won't get the beauty of Alec Guinness.
But that's a perfect point, right? Because they don't have that specific line, right? But in The Empire Strikes Back, as a movie, as a standalone movie, Yoda does what? He explains the fucking Force. Yeah. You do or you don't. There is no fucking try. You don't need to watch A New Hope to understand what the Force is. You get an idea of, it's all around me. It's for offense. It's for defense, not offense. It's everything. It's in this. It's in that. You don't need to watch A New Hope for that. That's another example of these movies. The episode, even though it's a sequel, in of itself, the open for a prequel, obviously, but you know that Luke is alive. He gets his hand. He's with Leia. He's looking hopefully out into the fucking the next door galaxy or whatever. Something's going to happen. You know where Han is. You know there's no random open hole. You know that he knows what the Force is. You know that he at least knows how to use it somewhat. Yeah, he got his ass kicked, but you still have that thing in the back of your mind. Yoda told him, do or don't. There is no choice. He's not gonna. You know that he's not gonna just. This is it. I'm not gonna fucking. You know that he's gonna fucking go and get his buddy back. It's a complete story.
Do you think there's gonna be a Cloud City parallel in Episode 8?
I don't. I think there'll be the opposite. There'll be a fucking underground city. And that's not me trying to be funny. I think it's literally gonna be like underground or underwater or some shit. A part of me was really hoping that they do the Mount Calamari or whatever that planet is, like underwater. But yeah, it's gonna be the opposite of Cloud City for sure.
Well, the thing is, we've seen underwater in Star Wars, which is fine. I mean, I understand there's only so many terrains you can believably portray. We've seen cold, we've seen heat, we've seen hotter, we've seen water, we've seen jungle, we've seen city. Like, I don't really... I mean, in the clouds, too. Like, I get that there's not so many, but... Okay, is there going to be a friend that they go to meet and betrays them? Like, is it going to be that heavy-handed?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, will there be a Lando and it'll probably be a woman.
No, I think they'll just bring back a little short, googly-eyed bitch from the fifth one, or from the fourth. Fuck you! From that gives Rey the lightsaber.
Part seven.
Seven, thank you. 7. I think that she's gonna come back.
Oh, Maz Kanata or whatever her name is. I hated that character. You mean Little Yoda?
That's a story for another time. No, motherfucker, we're in this movie. Tell me the story now. It is.
I feel like she looked at the camera and gave the finger to the audience.
Oh, fuck you. How'd you get this? That's a story for another time. No, we're right the fuck here. Tell me now.
Hey, in episode 5, who was Yoda referring to when he said there is another?
Leia.
Well, if you want the no. If you watch the George Lucas documentary on the Blu-ray, he said it's in there to make you think Luke could lose. They hadn't planned it out, and that just go watch the special features on the Blu-ray. That's from his mouth.
Yeah, but they didn't answer that question in the movie.
But that's not like Luke. Okay, if Luke died, and then they're like, "There's another out there," then it's to the same level of what.
So they put out a mystery out there without having the actual answer ready yet.
But there was no mystery.
The mystery was, who does he mean by, no, there is another?
There's a difference between a throwaway line in a whole film based around questions.
Okay, so I guess there's no follow up on your end. That's fine. But to that point. That obviously was a response to what? That boy's our only hope, right? So that's more of a response to Obi-Wan. No, we're not completely out of this game right now. There's another one. So it's open. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's definitely a question that they didn't answer immediately, but it's not to the point of, well, I'm waiting on someone. She never. So is she going back or not? At least Luke says, "I'll be back. I promise." There's some acknowledgement from the character. And again, it's a response to what Obi-Wan says. That boy's our only hope. And Yoda's like, "No, there's another one."
And that really, like I said, it was just a throwaway line, kind of like how they built the Clone Wars out of a throwaway line. Kind of a lame thing, but it turned out okay.
Well, even without knowing that. So even as you're watching the movie for the first time, the 6 hasn't come out yet. He says it. You're like, fuck, who is? He said who was the other one?
But the thing is, that's not the big revelation. Right, that's what I'm saying. Film. That's a throwaway.
You're not gonna look back and say, man, like, oh fuck, like, oh god, like what? That makes the whole rest of the movie not make sense.
Because the revelation is the whole I'm your father line.
Right.
That's the twist. If you're worried about there is another, okay, cool. Well, we're gonna focus on Luke still. Well, Luke didn't die. Luke's coming back. Oh my God, Vader's his father. Like, I guarantee you, 90% of the population wasn't like, I wonder who the other is. They were probably like, is it really his dad? Like, they were into that story. They weren't focused on a throwaway line. But that's not a plot point to the whole film. The fucking lightsaber in her hand that was chopped off on another planet that fell and all this shit, that's important to, like, the character's growth, which the character does not have. It's important to know where Luke's saber came from or how it got there. It's never going to be answered.
Until part 9.
Yeah, I say it's not even answered
God
then.
Damn it.
Here's the thing. It's not meant to be a lie. It's not meant to be a plot point that is ever going to get answered. It's just, we need to be able to sell you more pieces of merchandise that you identify with as a product that makes you feel comfortable as a consumer. So she has to have the exact same fucking hilt that Luke and Anakin carried. It can't be anything else. It has to be that to sell you that. You have to be of the mindset it's the same shit. It's safe. It's not like Obi-Wan had like 4 different lightsabers before he ended up on that first one. We didn't need to feel safe with his lightsaber choice in episode 1. This chick could have had any lightsaber. She didn't even need a lightsaber. She shouldn't have been She shouldn't have had a lightsaber. Luke should have been either involved in the movie or he should have gifted her the lightsaber or something like that.
True.
I mean, all of a sudden a lightsaber is a fucking vessel for a flashback? When was that part of Star Wars? Never. Now it is, randomly. It's nice to add certain new elements, but that goes against what it is as a genre. It changes the whole element of what Star Wars was. Star Wars was never a believable franchise, but it had certain things. If you pay attention to the movie, it talks in like it deals in terms that we're used to. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't want to say they say miles per hour, but they say like they use like certain measurements of units of time and shit like that we're used to. It's it's kind of a thing. It has like an established thing. This is so far outside of that norm that it's like that's not really Star Wars-y. That's more of like a Star Trek thing, for example. Like if all of a sudden they talk about what is that? The transporter. If somebody beams up in a Star Wars movie, that's going to take you out of it.
Oh, immediately.
Like that's why I feel that whole lightsaber as a vessel thing. To me, it's as jarring as like a fucking a beam me up scene.
Well, even going back to that. Well, there's another thing, right? So. As so you're watching episode 5 up to that point, he's got to go save his friends, and then that boy's their only hope. There is another one. So you're like, okay, cool. That's a little bit of a hole, right? And then he immediately goes to Cloud City. That the progression of Luke isn't based on that one question, and even so, it's quickly answered in the next one. Right? So Luke specifically says, Yoda spoke of another. It's your sister. Okay, boom. Question, it's answered.
And then instantly it's Leia.
Right, and it's Leia. So you could see, okay, that makes sense. Bang. So comparatively speaking to this one, I'm waiting for somebody. Who's gonna tell her? Who's gonna, like, so is she gonna just randomly come back to Jakar and the person's just sitting there in her hut? Or is Luke going to randomly say something? Well, that wouldn't make a lot of sense, because how would Luke know who she's waiting for? Well, it's just Luke. Okay, well, why was that established in the beginning of the film? You know what I mean? So that question's in the mind the whole time, where Luke is, at least that's right before the end of the movie. There's at least something else going on besides that's not the fucking linchpin for the whole second half of Empire. The beginning of episode 7, that's the major plot point, is, well, who left her? That is the major plot point. Who's the other is at the end, right before the climax of the film. It's not the thing we're asking for 2 fucking hours. That's my issue with that.
Yeah, because the whole movie I said, who is this chick?
Right. Even now, I'm just like, okay, so I'm waiting for someone. Was it the old dude that Kylo Ren killed? Is it Luke?
I think you're reading too much into the old dude.
It's who knows is Yoda. In episode 7, who the fuck knows who she's waiting for? None of the characters know who she's waiting for.
Oh, and that whole, I'm on a quest to find Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It seems like they're too self-aware. It's like, we're in Star Wars.
All I'm saying is that question is easily answered. Yoda knows. In this one, well, we gotta wait to the next one. There's literally nothing for us to grasp on. With episode 5, okay, our grasping is Yoda knows. He has to go back to Dagobah for that question to be answered. In this one, so I guess she has to go back to Jakar? How long is she gonna be there? Why is she going to be there? Is her knowing who dropped her off consequential to the plot of the movie? I don't think so.
You know it's not. It's just to get people.
That's what I'm saying. There's a point for there is another one. This one, who left her off? If she never found that out, it wouldn't matter in the movie.
Yeah.
You see how I'm going with that?
Yeah, dude. I mean. And another thing, you talk about her going back to Jakku. Why does Jakku look just like Tatooine? Why are we?
Moment too.
That's really the kind of stuff that bothers me so much. It's like I feel like this is like just shut up and just sit through it. Okay, it's
because
really
nobody
good.
paid that rent on Tatooine until it got bought by somebody else, and now it's called Jakku. That's why.
It doesn't have the second sun, asshole.
It's behind the planet. Look closer.
I don't ever plan on watching that movie again. Seriously, I don't know what it would take for me to sit through it again.
A blowjob.
A drunk commentary.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes to both of those. Now, Nick, as long as it's not
No,
trying to
of course not. No.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. If some girl's like, I'll blow you to watch this movie, I'm gonna say yeah. And I'm gonna make it last the whole fucking movie. Like, I'm gonna do my best. I'm like, don't fail me now, penis,
Come on, baby, hold together.
Yeah! Good reference, Dion.
Thank you,
Good
thank
reference.
you. I do this for a living.
I wish we did do this for a living.
I know, right?
We would have so much better content.
Oh, God. That's very true.
You know how we can make that a possibility?
How?
The fans went over to incarnate-studios.com, where you can support the show by buying a wide arrangement of awesome t-shirts at affordable prices. Jeff, help me out with the commercial.
Oh, I loved where you were going. You were making it sound like, you ever see that scene in Austin Powers 2, where we talk about Big Boy?
Oh, yeah.
In many ways, sir, the Big Boy has never left. He's always offered quality meals at affordable prices. You're having like a Clint Howard moment. I'm like, this is good shit. I should talk about affordable prices. No, yeah, if you really do like this show, one thing you can do too is subscribe to the channel and click that bell, because our subscriber count's going up, but our view count really hasn't gone up too terribly much on the average World Class Bullshitters episode. But yeah, head over to incarnate-studios.com, pick up a shirt, pick up 2 shirts, pick up 10 shirts. I don't care. If you want to buy them, I'll sell them to you. There's no limit on the shirts you can take. Also, I take suggestions. So like, if you got a great idea for a shirt or something that we do on the podcast that you think would be a cool shirt, let me know. I'll take the time and make it, for you guys. And every time someone buys an official World Class Bullshitters t-shirt, you get a shout out and you get an entry into the Hall of Fame. So, that gets you one step closer to being an official World Class Bullshitter yourself. I think we've discussed the trailer a lot. Actually, I don't think we discussed the trailer a lot. I think every time we get into the trailer talk, we get to how fucking shitty I hate Episode 7 and all that crap. But I have one positive to say about Episode 8. Like, a big one.
Ooh.
That poster is cool.
I don't believe it.
That's a gorgeous poster.
That's fake news, goddammit. That's fake news.
It's a cool poster. Is it the best Star Wars poster? No. But it's a very well-made poster that is never going to be in my home, but I like to look at it. Dion, did you see the poster?
I did not actually, no.
Well, look it up real quick. I want to get your reaction for the show.
Okay, let me go ahead, click on Google Chrome. I'm a Google guy now. I used to like Mozilla Firefox. I still do, but Chrome, I can log in and it has all my shit on there. Okay, let's see here.
He went white girl, people.
Episode 8 poster. Let's do this. Okay.
What the fuck was that?
That was thunder, dude.
Jeez.
Some like fucking Odin.
This is what Thor says when Dustin tells him the Justice League is going to make more money. Fuck you. I'm going to control the elements. Fuck you.
Okay, so
he's going to...
So,
it's red.
Oh, the red words, the Last Jedi in the middle?
No. Here's the Amazon page for the poster. I'll send that to you in the link. Jeff, do you think you can put that image up?
It's already the image for this week's show.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, it's a great looking poster. That's the one... Because this is kind of hard to argue. I mean, I'm an artist, so I guess I look at things differently, but the Episode 7 poster is pretty fucking bad. Like, movie aside, it's just a very bland, fake-looking poster. This one has some nice design elements. I don't like her as a character. She's trying to be like Han Solo meets Luke Skywalker, even if you look at the way she's dressed. And every other Star Wars character has a trial to go through. What is her trial? That's what bothers me,
but
man.
She's female,
so
and it's
much.
hard to be female.
No, it ain't. Women go, oh, it's so hard to be a woman in today's whatever. No, not really. I mean, you guys get away. You kill your husband, you can get out of jail in 5 years. I kill my wife, I'm in there forever. You know, there are double standards, and they usually go in your favor. So I don't want to hear about all this, you know, feminism shit. Keep it out of my entertainment. Okay?
Yeah, the one chick that Charlize Theron played, her bitch ass got put to death.
They can look at dicks, and no one will judge them.
Yeah, you girls got it great. All right. Our expert has waited. What do you think of this poster?
This poster, man, I don't know how I feel about this shit. I don't. That's supposed to be Kylo Ren on the other half.
Yeah.
Yep.
But to me, he's such a weak character. I can't get excited for any confrontation. Like, when I watch it, I'm gonna go, "Oh, he's now cool." So to serve the story, Vader, Empire Strikes Back Vader was badass that whole movie. Killed his own people, fucked people up, captured Han Solo, fucking grabbed laser bolts with his hand. Everyone goes on about Kylo Ren stopping the laser blast. Vader just is like, bah, 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 bounces off my hand. I'll steal your gun. I'd be honored if you would join us. You know, he plays it real cool. And then he plays with Luke. Like, that's a strong villain. That's why when you look at was it not IFC? AFI's top villains of all time, Vader's number 2.
All I'm saying is, man, Kylo Ren was wounded, you know, even though, you know, Vader was in a breathing mask and couldn't breathe in his part machine. But no, yeah, he was wounded.
Was Nurse Ratched number 1? I thought she was number 1.
No, Vader's number 3. It goes Hannibal Lecter, Norman Bates, Darth Vader, the Wicked Witch of the West, and then Nurse Ratched is number 5. The heroes list is good and shitty. Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird. I guess he's great because he saved the black guy, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
And then Indiana Jones is number 2, and James Bond is number 3.
Oh my god.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think Bond's a better hero.
I don't know if he's better than Indiana Jones, but I wouldn't have the dude from Killing Mockingbird number 1. I mean, obviously the whole racism is bad, guys. Yeah, but the best hero of all time, guys, really?
Let me take back what I said about... Okay, I like when James Bond's not a hero, when he's a hired gun, so I'm glad he's where he is. Indiana Jones does save kids in Temple of Doom. I gotta give him credit, you know? Mm-hmm. We need to do some Indiana Jones-related videos, Dion.
Hell yeah.
We're not gonna get some of the other guys, because they've never really watched them, and I'm not looking for, like, someone's experience the first time they ever saw it. I'm talking about, like, you and Nick and, I guess, Joel, and we should do some Indiana Jones. Maybe we should do drunk commentaries for Indiana Jones.
Threaten me with a good time.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
All the movies are on Hulu. I got them on Blu-ray and DVD and VHS and Betamax and Laserdisc. So,
jeez.
I think I have every format Raiders of the Lost Ark has been released on.
Oh fuck yeah!
But that's just me. So we got some fan mail. I guess I should read it. Well, it's not really fan mail, it's the comments. So last week's show, pretty successful. We're about at 1,200 views, so thank you for all the people that watch our show regularly. We couldn't do it without you. That's guys like Liquid Metal Pro and Brian Lape and Augs for President and Lex Rage and all that good shit. Andrew Hart, Christopher Littleton. All you guys, you keep the show rolling every week. You're not flesh in the pan.
Is Dark Knight Christopher Littleton?
Yeah, he's got like 5 accounts. Hey, that's awesome.
Hey, my man.
Yeah, he follows us on every platform, Facebook, all that shit. Here's the thing. If you like this show and you would really like to get involved in the community of World Class Bullshitters, find us on Facebook, you know? We have the World Class Bullshitters fan club. We got guys like, I think his name's like Christopher Barker. That guy's awesome. He talks to me about all kinds of information on movies. We got our movie critic in the making, Eddie. He's awesome. He's always got the news. So, like, if you want to get like the newest information on pop culture news, make sure you join our Facebook page because we got guys that are listeners just like you that are, you know, contributing and making it better for everybody. Like, that's how I saw the fucking trailer for Star Wars. Not because I looked it up. Somebody's like, hey, it's online, and then boom, there it was. So, thanks to all you guys. So, let's see. We had quite a few comments. Can't read all 68 of them. Lex Rage doesn't really love the trailer. So he says nothing really excites him. So, That's cool. And by the way, his name is Lex Rage, so you got to get the rage in there. Andrew Hart, longtime listener, says Battlefront too little, too late. I see what he did there. Ox for President may have my favorite comment on the video. Ron Perlman's face coming through a vagina is definitely going in the WCBS movie script. Right when Phil is the happiest he's ever been in his life because he's about to get laid, finally. Surprise! Ron Perlman appears through the vagina shouting, "Here's Johnny!"
Phil's so desperate he just started face fucking him.
Oh my god. Well, no, we saw Phil's desperation. Don't worry. Oh god.
Your beard feels like pubes.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Brian Lape says, "No Phil, no Nick. Sad show."
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
You should be, you sick fuck.
Oh god.
No filter. I love this comment. Fuck you, Sony. Suck a dick. Move and fuck Avi Arad. The anger is so palpable in that comment, dude. I love it.
Is No Filter Dark Knight?
Yeah.
You can tell. You can tell.
Yeah. Let's see. Kendo Slice. I'll be sending you an email this weekend about the podcast idea that I pitched to Liquid Metal Pro about the show, with him, Father's Clit, and Oggs. Oh, we're down for it. We definitely would love that idea.
Did you send an email?
Anybody? Let me look right now. I'm logging into the email account. I'll be honest, I never check this email except when we're recording because I had some illustration jobs and shit to do, so I've been super busy. Let's see. Did he send the email? Well, I'm sure Gwyneth Paltrow emailed us personally because she loves our show. Here it is. Fan show idea.
So at least he's not a fucking liar. He actually sent the email.
No. This guy is actually a really good fan because he follows us on Podbean and here and on Facebook. Like, this dude is, and I'm sure he's bought a shirt. Like, this is a world-class bullshitters fan. And Dion is humping the screen.
I am sitting back there from being outside, young sir.
Brian Lake, Oggs and I, the youngest and the oldest fan. Well, that you're not wrong. That's about it. That's all I'm going to really read for comments this week. There were some good ones, but, this is a 3-hour episode, and I'm going to read the email off air to the guys. So, this has been World Class Bullshitters. Every Thursday night we take a dump on the world of pop culture. If you liked this video, and I hope you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, oh well. Come back next week and listen to me bitch some more. You can find us over on Facebook. We have 2 pages. We have World Class Bullshitters, and we have the official World Class Bullshitters fan club. That's where you can talk to all of us, give us ideas for the show, give us news. We talk right back to you guys. It's like an episode of World Class Bullshitters every day of the week, except there's less dick jokes. So there's that. You can always email us at worldclassbs@mail.com. The best mail.
.com?
There we go. Oh, without Dan, this episode now feels like it needed Dan. Up until this moment, didn't care that he wasn't here. Now, Dan, God damn it, Dan.
Oh, I'm so mad he didn't fucking text you now, bro.
Yeah, asshole. Anyway, you can email us there. I'll read it the day of the show. Just saying, I will read it, but it'll be the day of the show. We also have a Twitter. We have an Instagram. I think we have a Snapchat, but Phil has never.
Yeah, I have not put that out just because I don't want to because it's Snapchat. So it's just going to be a lot of like Phil on there. I don't think everybody wants to see that and be in his life all the time. So it's unfair to the people.
I don't know why it wasn't just me or you that took the Snapchat, Jeff.
I should take the Snapchat.
Honestly, I have not posted the Snapchat yet. One of you could.
All right, maybe I'll do it because I could do Snapchat videos where I'm like, this is a response to this news story. 5 end credit sequences in Guardians 2. Yay! And there you go.
Yeah, see, and then you can send me those videos and I can post them everywhere.
Okay. Sorry, Phil, you're fired. Okay? Fucking fired.
Because I can literally post, because those videos are what, 15 seconds? Yeah, they can go on Instagram and Twitter really easily.
Or you could be dedicated and upload entire episodes of our show in 1-minute segments to Instagram like you used to.
Oh god, I might honestly do that with one of the commentaries. I really might do that with one of the commentaries.
You should leave the last minute out so people are like, oh my god, what happens next? You'll never know. We just made Star Wars money.
Oh God.
So, does anyone have anything else they'd like to add before I put this baby to bed?
No.
Okay, that's a no for everybody. All right, I've been your host, Jeff Hicks.
I'm the man with the plan, the original tan. And I used to be a Star Wars fan, so I took a lightsaber to the knee. Fuck you.
Are you ever going to reveal what that original plan was?
Yeah, when I get a good goddamn Star Wars movie.
All right. You had one in 1977. And in 80. And in 83. Fuck, Return of the Jedi doesn't suck.
Yeah, see, I always love how, like, you'll be like, oh, fuck, man, and then, like, we'll actually talk about it, you're like, you know what, that is a good movie. And it just makes me happy.
Well, about 4 or 5 months ago, I sat down and just watched the entire movie. I didn't look at my phone or my computer, and I was like, Return of the Jedi carries over the same level of quality from the previous two. Yeah, the Ewoks are retarded, but they're still not enough to drag down the whole film. And Jabba the Hutt was cool.
Yes.
And it made sense that Princess Leia killed him.
Yes.
See, when you have a big character payoff like you do with Princess Leia, it needs build. I don't think anyone watches Star Wars and goes, oh, Princess Leia's the useless chick. No, that's Sweet D's job and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Princess Leia was cool, and from the get-go, you learned who she was, and when she had a big payoff at the end, you're like, finally, she does, that.
Right.
I just think we need a longer attention span in entertainment. 5 minutes isn't enough to tell a story.
Nope.
2 hours is.
I agree.
That's why you're here. There's going to be an episode that you don't make, and I'm not going to hear I agree, and I'm going to be sad.
That's my whole plan. Not the original plan, but that's my plan.
Okay, I was like, I got it out of you finally. All right, Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye, Nick.
All right, Curtis, take us out.
Driving home from work today, I was looking at the clothes I was wearing, a purple button-up and some gray pinstripe suit pants. For my corporate job, I was trying to think of what I'm going to wear tomorrow. First thing that popped in my head was my cardigan. The second thing was, my God, I think I'm turning into a lesbian.
All right, this is episode 68. Next week, be prepared for episode 69. It's going to all be about sex and shit in movies. So be prepared for the raunchiest world-class bullshitters episode, unless something about Star Wars comes out. Then we'll just talk about that for 2 hours.
Now, goddammit, now!